I will pray for you, but if you get on my nerve, I will cuss you smooth out. My mouth ain't under control yet, and I can throw these hands. And let me tell you something, if I get my hands on you, I promise you, you gonna know you've been in a fight. But I'm trying not to go there because I'm in transition.
All right, welcome everybody. We are up late tonight, ain't we? Welcome kings and queens. Welcome Twitter. Welcome YouTube. Listen, I had to push the time back just a little bit. We up late. Some of y'all work a night shift. I'm just in time for shift change. You know what it is. Get you a glass of wine. Hell, what we on? Today, Wednesday, get you a damn glass of wine. Set your alarm. Make sure you get up in time for work. Set your coffee maker to automatic brew, your curing, whatever you got, right? Hell, if you can really afford it, have DoorDash, Uber Eats, deliver you some coffee for in the morning. Treat yourself with a warm croissant. That's how we doing it, because we're going to be up tonight. We're going to be talking shit. The Breakfast Club, yeah. I feel like you misstepped. I feel like with I believe with the Breakfast Club being as large as a platform as they are, y'all completely misstep. And that's what we're talking about, the schizophrenia debate. I feel like I do believe the industry is closing in on Nicki Minaj. Now, let's be very clear. I don't have a dog in this fight. Do you? I do not have a dog in this fight. Do you? Welcome for those of you that are tuned in from Twitter. Welcome YouTube. Welcome members, subscribers. Listen, thank you to my moderators that are on late night duty. We're going to talk about it. We talked about Nicki Minaj having a reaction to the Breakfast Club, Keisha Kahor, Gucci Mane's interview. Some of you say, hey, listen, she's off her rocker. Nicki talks too much. Nicki needs to stay in her place. Queen, she's crazy. Is she? Really? Is she? Is she? And why are you so quick to believe that? I'm not saying I agree. I disagree. Desira, welcome. My other moderators here. Is Toot here? Toot. Oh, you know what? Toot is here. It's Toot's husband's birthday, y'all. And Toot is still here working. Toot, I thought you were out to dinner. I thought you were out to dinner. So we got, listen, Somalis in Africa. Somali is asleep, honey. She's not. I got a moderator from Africa. My girls are all over the globe, okay? And they do a really good job, period. Gang, gang. Gang, gang over here. That's it. That's all. And they're very polite. My moderators are polite. You don't see my moderators getting up and, yeah, I'm veering off for a minute because I've seen some moderators and I'm like, baby, your job is to moderate. That's the most prestigious, honorable job ever. You ain't got to get in the trenches unless people start getting disrespectful. But I've seen different moderators on other pages get very disrespectful. And I'm like, sweetheart, let the content creator have it. Don't take the attention away from them. They got it. They got it. They got it. But anywho, shout out to my moderators for doing a hell of a job this late at night. And, and the reason why I shout mine out, because what most don't tell you is moderation is not a paid job. So when you see moderators showing up at every hour of the night, listen, I'm grateful. I'm thankful. I'm thankful for mine, period, point blank. I'm going to always shout mine out. I appreciate mine. But anywho, yeah, they say happy birthday to Toot's husband. But let's get into it. Gucci Mane and Keisha Kahor went on a Breakfast Club. And the bulk of the interview was intended to be about mental health, which is a very positive interview if you think about it. If you think about mental health, I don't think we talk about it enough. I think in some aspects it can and still it can be, and it still is a taboo subject, right? But that's what they were there for. And somehow, some way, Nicki's name came up. Don't you just hate when you come there for one thing and they veer off to something else and somehow they fail to course correct? Well, they failed to course correct. And I don't give a damn if you said her name once or twice. The point is, you brought her name up. And it's crazy to me that people feel like they can say what they want to say and everybody's supposed to sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. Once you bring somebody's name up, they have a right to respond should they choose to. You can't control how they respond. You hope they get the gist of what you were trying to say. But unless you're absolutely specific with your words, which you were not, Breakfast Club, and we're about to play it. And Lauren, I am so disappointed because I feel like the Breakfast Club was really, really reckless with what they said. I don't know if Nicki's a schizophrenic. I don't know if she's been diagnosed, but the point is, until she tells us, it's nobody else's job to do so. Do you understand what I'm saying? You don't release somebody's HIPAA information through the pipeline of a Gucci Mane, Keisha Kaur interview. I feel like it's reckless, and I feel like Nicki has every right to come out and respond to it. It's irresponsible. It's not fair to Nicki, whether you like somebody or not. What you don't want to do is imply that they are something or have been diagnosed with something unless you can produce the actual facts and if you've received permission to do so. Now, I know Nicki and Charlemagne have had their back and forth. I know Nicki don't care for Charlemagne or God and vice versa. But at the end of the day, you are the professionals seated in the seat of interviewing people. And you guys hinted at the fact that Nicki, and you didn't come back and apologize. I don't even think you caught the slip up. Now, here's my thing. We go in. We've been huge advocates of Lauren over here. Go back and fact check us. When Lauren and Just the Mess got into it and had their HR explosion, we stood in the gap for Lauren because I feel like Just was out of pocket. I feel like Just took something to the public and she did it in a way that was irresponsible. Right is right, wrong is wrong. Lauren, you dropped the ball. What you said and what you did, and you didn't come back to apologize, and y'all act like Nicki's on some bullshit and you don't understand why she's feeling the way she did. I would, if I were Nicki, I would feel some kind of way too. Whether right, wrong, or indifferent, you had no business insinuating that this lady is schizophrenic, whether she is or she's not. That's it. That's all. Now, the Breakfast Club is really sensitive about people utilizing their material. And I've utilized their material first, and they don't have anything against me. It's just the way their parameters are set up, their filter system. They can detect if you're utilizing anything of theirs, and they'll put a copyright strike out. I'm going to play a little bit off of it because I need you to hear it. And I need you to listen extremely closely. But Nicki Minaj is calling out the Breakfast Club after the hosts, in particular, Lauren, reportedly suggested that she has mental health issues like schizophrenia and that maybe her husband should do to her or take power of attorney over her like Keisha Kaur has taken over Gucci Mane. I want to break down what was said. I want to play a snippet of what was said and how Nicki fired back. And we did that in a previous video. And why this has turned into, number one, a major controversy. Now, let me tell you something. People are utilizing this and weaponizing Nicki's response against her. Can Nicki be off her rocker? Yeah, she can be very disrespectful. Yes, she can be. But this time, is she justified? Let me ask you that. Do you feel like this time she just may be justified? Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I'm going to play it. Let me get to the, hold on, y'all. Let me get to the timestamp. All right. Let me hit escape. Give me 1 second. If there's pauses in between me presenting and talking, it's because I'm just trying to get the timestamps together. Let's go ahead and roll this footage really quickly. Give me 1 second. You have to listen very carefully. Otherwise, you're going to miss it. All right, here we go. Let's see. Okay, y'all look like y'all. All right, here we go.
We snap out of it, right?
Yeah, so
What that got to do with Sister Minaj?
because there's a lot of fans online having a conversation right now following our interview if whether or not Kenneth, who's Nicki Minaj's husband, should be doing the same for Nicki Minaj because
Absolutely.
she's online and there's a lot of things that she's saying and
But that
different things
wasn't
that
the
are
reason
happening.
she shot at Charlamagne, was it?
No, forget
No.
me. Why did she come at Keisha? I don't.
Did y'all hear that? The insinuation. So what they're back, which I can't play at all because, like I said, shit, the Breakfast Club will have you hemmed up about playing their shit. So listen, Keisha Kaur had just talked about how she maintains and keeps his schizophrenia, Gucci Mane's schizophrenia, under control. She says, what I do is when he goes into an episode, I delete apps. I change the passcode on his phone so that he cannot go on social media and rant. Lauren fires back. Should Nicki Minaj's husband do what? Do the same thing that Keisha Kaur is doing for Gucci Mane, which many believe, wait a minute. So are you saying that Nicki is schizophrenic too? Because the point of the interview that Gucci Mane and Keisha sat down to speak about was Gucci Mane. Many of us did not know he's a diagnosed schizophrenic. And not only is he a diagnosed schizophrenic, Keisha Kaur knew this well before they married. Not a big deal, right? But she's also the power of attorney. Follow me very closely. Okay. So far, so good, right? Husband, wife. Okay, Queen Sheba. She's doing a great job. She's looking after her husband. She's power of attorney. Here's where it gets complicated. Keisha Kaur said she orchestrated a kidnapping of Gucci against his will, where she had big guys to come in, put him in a SUV vehicle, check him into a mental health hospital. And when he felt like he had enough and he was ready to go home, she said no. When the hospital said, hold on, ma'am, he's his own guardian, he's an adult, he can sign himself out. She said, I'm his wife. He doesn't get to sign himself out. I'll tell you when he can come home. Watch this. Many of you say, yeah, that's fine. No, it's not. Let me tell you why. If she has that much power over him right now, and as far as we know, Gucci has not been a problem to the community nor a menace to society, who's to say she wouldn't drop his black ass off and never come back? If she has that much, and do you know how hard it is? You ask somebody that have children that are disabled, autistic, and you try to take away their rights. Ask them how hard it is to take guardianship over them. Hard, almost impossible. So the fact that Keisha Kaur can leave Gucci Mane in a mental health facility and he hasn't committed a crime, and according to her, he's just having an episode where he gave away some jewelry, or he's saying, I don't like you, get out of here, and he's cursing her out, and she drops him off and say, leave him until I say he can come home. Come on now. Come on now. I don't understand. If y'all really understand how this thing works, y'all, that's not the norm. That's the exception to the rule. And then Lauren comes back to say, well, maybe Nicki Minaj's husband should do to her what Keisha has done to Gucci. First of all, is give and get out. Because that's not how you want to use a power of attorney. It's a misuse and abuse of leadership. You want to use power of attorney when somebody's incapacitated and they're not in their right state of mind to speak for themselves or to make a coherent decision for themselves. Hold on, follow me. Come on in. We talking tonight. Yes, Gucci Mane is schizophrenic. And I'm saying that affirmatively because he said he is. Yes, she may have had to kidnap him against his will and take him to the mental health hospital, right? Okay, I can follow that. But the moment they admit him and get him on his meds and he say he wants to go home, he should be able to go home. Period. He's medicated. He's under clinical assessment. They've monitored him. They've gotten his vitals. They've gotten it under control. You don't get to say he can't come home until you decide number one, you're not a practitioner. You're not a licensed professional. You're not a medical doctor. Okay. That's all I'm saying. So I believe it's a misuse of power. And I think Lauren and the Breakfast Club was very reckless by insinuating that Nicki Minaj has been or does have schizophrenia, and number two, that our husband should take control of the situation. Who the fuck are you? Who are you? Because we don't know that. Now, one thing Cardi B, and some of you say, hold on now. You know what? I don't want to make this about Cardi B. I'm going to say this one thing, and I'm going to move on about Cardi B, but this is not a Nicki versus Cardi B conversation. One thing Cardi B did say about Nicki, she alluded to the fact that Nicki utilized substances and that Nicki's husband provided them and allowed her to do so that and be reckless with her money. But Cardi never said that Nicki had a mental health disease, ever. Cardi never said that was the gossip on the street in the rap game and in the industry. Let's pause. Cardi was speaking from her heart. She don't give a damn about Nicki, but she never said you crazy. She never said, bitch, that's why you schizophrenic. What she said is get off them drugs, and your husband is supplying you so that he can keep you in that house while he goes out and spends your money. Sounds like a informal, unassigned title of a power of attorney. He just doesn't have it formally. Have you ever been asked to do something that's outside of your role? It's called interim position in corporate America. Until we find a director, we're going to have you acting in that role. That's what he's doing. And when I thought about the power attorney of it all, and Keisha K. Orr keeping that man in a mental health hospital, he ain't killed nobody, he ain't overdosed, he ain't did nothing but gave away a little jewelry. She did not describe anything that he did in that interview that was against the law. She said, I can tell when he's off. He don't want to talk to nobody. He don't have a lot of words. What y'all are saying, check your mic. Okay. Mic check. 1, 2, 3. Mic check. 1, 2, 3. We good? Child, I was going. Baby. I was preaching like I was one of them street preachers. All right. All right. Let me go back. All right. Y'all threw me off. All right. Golly, where was I at? Let me stay out the chat. Keisha K. Orr, in that interview, she described Gucci Mane's behavior, and she said, I can tell when he's about to have an episode or an episode is oncoming. He gets quiet. He doesn't want to talk. He becomes withdrawn. Does that sound like anything you should take somebody to a mental health hospital for? I'm going to ask her. Listen. Does that sound like anything that will make you get in your car, have your husband or your wife kidnapped, and drive them to a mental health facility, and like the old folks say, a crazy house, have them locked up against your will, and then when they say, no, let me out of here, you say, nah, I'm the power of attorney. I'm the wife. He can't come. Listen to the interview. She said he becomes withdrawn. He gets quiet. Okay. Well, why the fuck do you have him in a car headed to the mental health facility? And why is the industry playing on the fact that you are his mental health advocate? And now that what's his name? Kenneth needs to do the same thing to Nicki. Y'all, I smell a rat. I smell a rat. I do feel like there's a strong possibility that Nicki could be using something. Okay. I do. But do I feel like Nicki is certified crazy? No. But that's what they do to many people in the industry when they don't want you to talk. If Nicki is using, and I'm not making excuses. Hell, I'm not even a Nicki Minaj fan. That's the crazy part about it. But I do empathize with people that have suppressed trauma. Nicki was raped and sexually assaulted by her father while her mother turned the other cheek. Is that an excuse for her behavior? Not necessarily. What I'm saying is I can see the alignment and the relationship with her coping in order to manage and silence the pain of, damn, when I look around, my family ain't shit, my mama ain't shit, my brother ain't shit, and I am going up for a man that's been accused of being a pedo. So let me rap. Let me do this. Let me work my way to the top. And now that I've gotten to the top, damn, that pain is still here. I'm not, let me say it again, because y'all hear what you want to say. I'm not making no excuses for her outbursts on social media. But what I'm saying is I'm not shocked. If it's true that she's utilizing substances, I wouldn't be shocked because of the suppressed childhood trauma. But do I think she's certified bona fide crazy? Not necessarily. Nope. Do I feel like Nicki said a lot that have pissed people off in the industry? Absolutely. You come after the right names, you get shut down. You come after Jay-Z, you get shut down. Ask Tony Busby. He got shut down, lost his law license, his license to practice in particular states. You come after the wrong folks, you get shut down. And many people have, and many people will, until that person at the top, their time is up. Does that make sense? Let's get back into it. I believe everybody, if not most people around Nicki, Nicki's going to have to clean house. Nicki's going to have to pull a Trump card. Nicki's going to have to establish a power attorney over the power of the attorney. You get what I'm saying? Nicki's going to have to put some blind items in place that when a motherfucker think he got her, i.e. her husband, bingo, I got somebody else that's checking you. When you hit a particular threshold as an individual with money, I'm not talking about Nicki now. I'm just talking, they said, don't trust your accountant. Get another accountant to audit the accountant. Therefore, you keep your books clean. Because at the end of the day, no matter what happens, should they steal money from you, not pay your taxes, you are still responsible as an individual. Well, how so? I'm not the accountant. Doesn't matter. You're the one that goes to jail. Nicki, get you somebody in place to watch every motherfucking body around you, period. Whether you are schizophrenic or not. Get you an accountant that can monitor the accountant. Get you a stylist that can monitor the stylist. Get you some placebo effects in place because they are coming after you. I didn't say anything is an excuse. I think I said that 3 times. Suave said a chemical imbalance isn't an excuse. I didn't say it was. But I do believe, and I'm smart enough and savvy enough to know, listen, when the industry wants you, they can have you. Now, let's talk about Keisha K. Orr and Gucci Mane. They feel like Nicki owed them something. They feel like she hasn't paid her due justice. Jay-Z feels like Nicki owed him something. He feels like she hasn't paid her due justice. And let me tell you something, this ain't nothing new. And the same shit would be happening to Meg Thee Stallion if she hadn't shut her mouth. She had 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 to go before they made her out to be crazy. She damn near crossed over as she continued to fight back verbally. She had to sit it out and be quiet and take the licks in peace. I do. I'm warming up. See, here we go. We're about to fight, Dream Kitty. I don't have a degree. I have a master's. Okay, so first of all, where have you been? Now, here's the thing. If you know I have a degree, a master's degree in organizational psychology, how did you miss my video on yesterday where I went deep into schizophrenia? Huh? If you follow me, how come you missed that video yesterday? And the only reason why I'm using this tone with you is because you used it with me. I'm not being rude, and I don't think you are. I think you're being direct, and I'm being direct back. If you follow me and you know enough to know that I specialize in psychology, I hone in on the psychological and the behavioral traits of the Black experience. How did you miss the video yesterday where we did a deep dive into schizophrenia? We talked about what it looked like. I started this video off to say I utilized his words. I said he did a great job. However, I still said they struck me from using the interview. Did y'all catch that? Y'all got to quit talking until you go find and get all of the, and if I left a gap, then you come back and say, you know what, you left a gap on this, but I didn't. I talked about it yesterday in great detail. And as a matter of fact, I wasn't even trying to make no money off of it because I got struck. I received a copyright strike for using their material. So Dream Kitty, you got to sit this one out because you're loud and wrong. You got to be up to speed. It was your job to find that video. I put it out there for free. I gave him his props. I talked about how that must look for him, how that must look for Keisha. Girl, bye. She said, I talked all that. You late. You just pulled up. You haven't been onboarded properly. You said, Toot, she's taking every word Keisha said. No. I am a content creator that's very diverse. Y'all are so used to people that are narrow-minded. They give you one viewpoint, and that's what they stay on. We opened up the floor. We made them heroes yesterday. Today's a different side of the coin. Y'all, this is an elevated channel. This is an elevated conversation. You got to be careful that you don't get left behind around here. And that's not a shade to you, but Dream Kitty, you're being very direct, and I feel like you can take it. You seem like you're, you're pretty sharp. Handler is a bit much, but guess what? Maybe, maybe not. You can agree to disagree. Let's continue. Watch this. Let me continue. And that's okay. And listen, don't stop giving your opinions in the chat now. Y'all are free to speak. Just keep it respect. Y'all can speak. It ain't nothing wrong with what they're saying. So listen. Why is handler big? Why does the word handler make you so uncomfortable? Have you thought about it? I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not saying you're wrong. But when you type things in the chat and you say, why am I uncomfortable with that word? Do y'all actually think about why it makes you uncomfortable? Why it makes you feel like it's a bit much? I'm not saying you need to explain, but the more you understand why it seems like it, then you can present a deeper argument and you can articulate a little bit better other than it's a bit much. That is a handler. When somebody can take you to a mental health hospital because you're quiet in the house and you don't fucking feel like talking and say you can't come out until I say you can, that's a handler to me. It's given handler. It's given handler. Dream Kitty, if I live with you and you woke up tomorrow and had an attitude with me, and if I was your power of attorney, and I say, you know what, I don't like the way you walking around this house. I think you're having an episode. Well, first of all, who the fuck am I? I'm not a clinical professional. You could be having an episode, or you could just be in a bad mood and don't feel like talking. But to me, you're having an episode. So guess what? I'm going to get them boys to come get you. I'm going to put you in that SUV and I'm taking you to the hospital. What did he do? He's having an episode. How do you know? Because he wasn't talking. And typically when he or Dream Kitty don't talk, she's having an episode. Okay. That's a handler. And you say, no, I'm not. I just don't feel like talking. To me, that's a handler. Now, I'm not saying I'm right. Let's be very clear. Let's be very clear. Okay. It's just my opinion, like you all have yours. Now, however, let's get into it. Britney Spears was handled. Kanye West was handled. And what you're looking at, what I believe I'm looking at, and let me tell you something, I'm rarely wrong, and I could be wrong. I just be ahead of my time in most cases. There's people that go back and look at my videos from 2 years ago, and shit has happened today, and they go, oh my God, I owe you an apology. You were right. But let me say what I'm going to say. I could be wrong. And if so, I ain't got no problem coming back and say, damn, I was wrong. However, let me tell you the vibes I'm getting. Britney Spears. The vibes I'm getting is not the fact that she's helping him because he's schizophrenic. But when he muttered, I want to go home, she said, no. You can't until I say so. And when the hospital says, ma'am, he can go home, and you fought for him to stay, and you didn't give any example in that interview that he had broken the law, that he had committed violence. She said she wasn't afraid of him. He never posed a threat to her. That is why I use the word handler. If I take you to the hospital and you say, I feel better, I'm ready to go home, and I say, no, I am now exercising my will over your will as an individual. And when the doctors say, wait a minute, Queen Sheba, Dream Kitty can go home. And I say, no, it's giving handler. Now, what I believe is happening, when you look at Keisha Kaur, and she's a doting wife, I ain't saying nothing bad about the people. But let me put out a disclaimer. If you all are the kind of people where you feel like you're easily triggered by somebody else having a different opinion, this may not be the conversation for you. Because we welcome people to come in the chat and speak their opinions. But ain't nobody going to harass you for it. I feel like what I believe I'm seeing is a modified version of a conservatorship. A modified version of a conservatorship. Maybe have not received the formal title, but a modified version of what's happening. Gucci Mane don't have any more say over his life at this point. That became very clear in that interview. Right, wrong, and or indifference. Indifferent. The final say sounds like it rests on Keisha Kaur. And then Lauren took it upon herself to say, well, maybe that's what Nicki Minaj's husband should do. Well, first of all, hold on. Why? If y'all say he a pedophile, why would you want a pedophile in charge of her? And that's where a lot of y'all piss me off in the Black community. Because y'all don't really think about what you say before you say it. You just pop off. Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, wait a minute. What if Nicki Minaj does have schizophrenia? What if it's true? Hold on. And she does need a handler, an advocate, whatever you want to call it, a power of attorney. Why would you want it to be him if you believe he's a pedophile? Breakfast Club. That's why I told y'all to wait. Let me warm you up. Let me take you where I'm going first. So either your disdain at the Breakfast Club is so harsh for Nicki Minaj, you can't think straight. You got to think about what you're saying when you say it, because I'm the type of person that listens. Or you don't believe he's a pedophile, and you believe that the young lady that said he raped her at age 16 is a lie. So much so that he's innocent. He's a registered sex offender. And now we should elevate him to power of attorney, where we leave him in charge to give her her medicine, because Keisha K. Orr is in charge of giving Gucci the doses of his medicine. Here's the thing with handlers. They're in charge of how many pills you get per day. Now, the doctor and the pharmacist says take 2 pills a day, 1 every 12 hours, whatever it is. The person that you're in charge of, they're not in the right state of mind, right? To be able to administer it themselves. And most of them will tell you, I feel better when I'm off of it. I don't want to take it because I don't like the way it makes me feel. Based on your wherewithal as a caregiver, handler, advocate, conservator, whatever it is. Shit, you get on my nerves too bad, I may give you 2 pills. That's it. Many people are whispering that Gucci is heavily sedated, and that's what the industry wants to do with Nicki. So it's being rumored that they are gearing up and putting out the label of her being crazy. So when it's time to sign, seal, and deliver it, it's an easy win. That could be true. That could be not true. My question is, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? Now, let me play it one more time with Lauren. Lauren was out of line. It was a misstep. Let me go back. Hold on. Here we go, y'all. Give me 1 second. If you can just work with me, I'm trying to get it just right.
And we snap out of it, right?
Yeah, so
What that got to do with Sister Minaj?
because there's a lot of
Okay. So Lauren played the clip of Keisha K. Orr saying, I notice when Gucci, or I feel like Gucci, is having an episode because he becomes withdrawn, and I tell him, you're being crazy. He says, no, I'm not. I just don't feel like talking. She goes, yes, you are. You're being crazy. And she goes, and I'll make him snap out of it. Let me tell you something. If you go to a schizophrenic and you said, hey, you're in a bad mood, you're not talking to me, and they say, I don't want to talk to you, you're being crazy. And they say, no, I'm not. I just don't feel like talking. Doesn't that sound just like a regular conversation that you could have with a teenager, a husband, a wife, a niece, a nephew, a coworker? Go to work. And tell somebody, you're not talking to me today. I think you're having an episode. What? I just don't feel like talking. No, you're not. You're crazy. You're being crazy. What are you talking about? I just don't feel like talking. Snap out of it. Y'all, that's not enough to say somebody's having an episode. If you've truly been around a schizophrenic, baby, let me tell you something. If you've truly been around a schizophrenic and you go up to one, they might tell you, you the devil, you this and you that, which leads me to believe that Keisha, anybody can be wrong, I'm not saying she's a bad person, is not leaving a lot of room of flexibility for Gucci to have a bad day. Gucci just may be walking on eggshells, even if he is a schizophrenic, I'm sorry. If he can't have a bad day and not talk, with the threat of being kidnapped. First of all, how do you get to kidnap somebody against their will? And then they say you're out here charging $550 for mental health consultations. What is really going on in the industry? You cannot. Thank you, Miss B. That's all I'm saying. You cannot snap out of being a schizophrenic. So I'm not saying that he's not. I'm saying, Keisha, what are you talking about? You can't snap him out of that. If he's having a full-blown episode. And make sure that your words are very, very careful so that you don't set other people up that's listening in to think that they can walk in a room with a schizophrenic and say, snap out of it. And according to insiders, I'm going to show you, they believe that people are setting Nicki up to be labeled as a schizophrenic so that she can enter into, listen, a sophisticated form of conservatorship. Y'all, this is just a conservatorship right in front of your eyes, hidden in plain sight. This man has lost his rights. This man hasn't checked in on his autistic son that he's had prior to having children with Keisha. Keisha said herself, when Gucci Mane, some of you call it off his meds, some people say in his right state of mind from being sedated, looks at her and tell her, I don't like you. I don't want to be with you. And then they sedate him again. Which side of Gucci do you feel like is the real Gucci? Which side of Nicki do you feel like is the real Nicki? Cardi said that Kenneth is keeping Nicki sedated. It's the same thing because none of us really know what drugs they're taking or being administered because both of their spouses are in charge of their doses. Cardi said, he gives you your drugs. Keisha said, I give him his drugs to keep him straight. We're assuming it's mental health drugs, but hell, we don't know. We only know what the people tell us. But what we do know is both spouses are in charge. And for Lauren to say that maybe there needs to be something in place where Nicki loses control over her ability to make her own decisions as an adult is very alarming to me. Nicki ain't committed a crime. Nicki ain't hurt nobody. Nicki ain't threatened to do harm to nobody. Nicki's on social media exercising her freedom of speech just like anybody from MAGA, Democrats, liberal, and anything else. So now we're going to lock him up? Do y'all not see what's happening right before you? Do y'all not see what's happening right before you? And I guarantee you, if Gucci Mane was a broke-ass nigga, there wouldn't be no power of attorney in place. If Nicki Minaj was a broke girl from the hood, nobody would be interested in establishing power of attorney, advocacy over them. Are y'all following me? Let's continue.
Fans online having a conversation right now following our interview if whether or not Kenneth, who's Nicki Minaj's husband, should be doing the same for Nicki Minaj because
Absolutely.
she's online and there's a lot of things that she's saying.
That wasn't the reason.
Even Britney Spears get the right to dance all night. Y'all don't really understand what's happening. Do you know how hard it is to take somebody's rights away from them? Britney Spears dances almost every day with knives in her hands. I ain't trying to be funny. Ain't nobody came in to take that away. But y'all are saying we need somebody to come in and subdue Nicki from going online. Why? Who would want that to happen? She ain't bothering me. Is she bothering you? No. Who could she possibly be bothering that they would want to erase her apps where she can't log into Instagram and Twitter? Who is she bothering that bad? Y'all, come on. Y'all can't be that slow. It ain't bothering me. Jay-Z, is that you? Universal Records, is that you? She's not a menace to society. She's not a threat to the common folks. See, you only want to shut down somebody that's a threat to you. You only strike pages that trigger you in a certain way. You only want to silence the voice that has a bit of truth to it. Who doesn't want to be found out? And can we mix it with a little bit of crazy so that no matter what you say, Nicki, Kanye, anybody else, you crazy. And we'll continue to use you and you and you and you and you as an example to gain control. Lil Nas. You see, when they picked up Lil Nas initially, they said that he had overdosed and that he was walking down the street in Calabasas, California, in his underwear and white Dallas Cowboys cheerleader boots. And he was. And they said he was under the influence and he attacked police officers. He did this and this and that. Well, they locked him up. They did a toxicology and lab test, only for it to come back negative. There was not 1 ounce or trace of drug in his system. Follow me very closely about the industry. Come on in. Well, what in the hell will make Lil Nas get out there and walk down the street? Some of you say he had a mental break, a psychosis. Who told you that? Oh, that's what I read. Okay. Who paid who to say it? Because let me tell you something about a TMZ. They don't work for free. He has psychosis. Who told you that? You know what I believe? Lil Nas played crazy to get out of wherever he was in a fucked up situation. That's what I believe. When I sat down, I was like, okay, he walked where he came from. Who was in that apartment? What party was you at? Lil Nas probably pretended to do some type of drug so that something couldn't happen to him. Pretended to drink a drink. Got that. That's what I believe. Smart enough to know, because come on, black folks, don't we put a little, hey, listen, you better act crazy to get up out of here. Took off his pants, put on them Dallas Cowboy cheerleader boots, and walked down that avenue. You know what? Let me swing up on the police. Let me swing on a cop. Whatever I can do to get the hell up out of there. That's what I believe. Wherever he was, whatever party he was at, whoever he was around, you ain't going to sacrifice me. You ain't going to do ABC to me. I'm finna go Stone Cold Steve Austin crazy on y'all motherfuckers. I'm finna walk down the street like I'm crazy just to get up out of here. That's always when I found out that there was no drug in his system, I said, Lil Nas, I got you. I see what you did. I ain't mad at you. You got yourself up out of there. Wherever you were, in whoever's apartment, whomever was around you, you played like you was having a, what do y'all call it? Episode, a reaction to a drug, just to get up out of there, wherever you were. Now, he knows enough that he can't say. See, thank you. The dreaded queen, she said, the producer, thank you. Young Chop spoke about this exact thing. The industry is crazy. Yeah, you got, that was the only one that I thought, I see what you did, King. You got up out of there. Even if it meant going to jail that night, because you were safer in jail than you were around these people in the industry. Nicki is being utilized as an example, but Nicki kind of walked herself into that trap. Because somebody on social media said, hold up, Nicki. Because when it worked for you, you didn't have shit to say. That's true. That's true. Y'all. My mama used to say, if you have no plans of staying, don't eat their food. Let me say it again. If you don't plan on staying long, don't eat their food. What you mean? It's too late, girl. They didn't put you on. They got you to walk away from Deb Antony. You accepted the Grammys. You accepted the money, the contracts. Hop, bark, skip. You ate the food. How many more albums do you have on the table that you need to produce? You don't get to talk back. You see, they got Beyonce drugged up, but they have a good handle on her. that you don't see it. And for those of you that are new over here, we played the video where Beyonce was tucked away on an island in Italy, drugged up, allegedly. Yes, they did. They insinuated. Yes, they did, Zara. Look, just a snap of her finger to nothing. Jay-Z's used to it. And when Julius realized that paparazzi had infiltrated that island, he took her away. They all have handlers. Ray J handled allegedly Whitney Houston. Kris Jenner handled allegedly who? Kanye. Khloe handled allegedly Lamar. What Lamar tell? They said Kim Kardashian want to date this bastard. He said, don't do it. They sucked the entire spirit out of you. Now, all of a sudden, because we black. No, don't say that. Listen, these black folks in this Hollywood don't give a damn about you. Say it. If Gucci Mane was broke, it would be no power of attorney. If Nicki Minaj was broke, the Breakfast Club would not be having a conversation over her husband, who many of you know is a registered sex offender. Why would you want a sex offender? You wouldn't want it in real life. Now, all of a sudden, Lauren, you really fix your mouth to say that? Lauren, you're not even thinking straight. Be careful. Be in the world and not of it. Be in Hollywood and not of it, Lauren. You're not even monitoring what's coming out of your mouth. You're not even thinking, Lauren, as a woman. Why would a sex offender need to have power over anyone? Power over attorney. That's the last thing you want to give a sex offender is power. That in of itself is an offense. That in and of itself is asinine. But y'all be hearing stuff, you don't pause and think. And that's why over here, we breaks it down. You be like, damn, Queen. I ain't even think about it like that. I'm just listening, girl. I ain't even processing. I'm just driving into work. But that makes sense. Shit, you right. Who would give any sex offender, a man that has violated a young girl, power? That's the last thing they need. Uh-huh. But you said it. Let's play it again. Somebody said, did Lauren really say that? Yes, she did. She just said it. Let me do it again.
There's a lot of fans online having a conversation right now following our interview if whether or not Kenneth, who's Nicki Minaj's husband, should be doing the same for Nicki Minaj because
Absolutely.
She's online and there's a lot of things that she's saying and
But
different
that
things that are
wasn't the
happening.
Establishing power of attorney where he can take our phone, delete our apps, and change our password. That's all I'm saying. World's Best Braider said they was both 16. I go with the law. I go with the facts. The facts of the matter is he's a registered sex offender. I don't justify that. When they say, listen, let me just tell you something. Would you let your daughter go to his house? And say, let her go. He was just 16. Do y'all really think about what y'all say before y'all say it? Would you let your child go to his house? And say, he's okay. I don't care if he's a registered sex offender. He was just 16. Or would you go and trust the law to say, hey, listen. Y'all, if you're against it, don't justify it. Would you let your child go, knowing that he's a registered sex offender? Would you let your niece go? Would you drop somebody off in his care and say, listen, mommy, they said he's a registered sex offender. Oh, shut up, Lauren. He was just 15. Is that how we living, black women? Because that's how you sound when you put that in the chat. When you write that on social media where people can go back and your children and you don't listen. When it's on black and white, I'm not, look, I ain't beating up on nobody. I'm just trying to help you so that when you move forward with sophistication and class, ladies. If the law says he's a sexual offender and he's registered, would you let your child go? Would you let your little niece go who's 18? Say, oh, he's straight, girl. He did that when he was 15. Is that what we're saying? That's all I want to know. I love to know how y'all think. I love to listen to y'all. I love to get inside and just listen because I feel like I learn a lot with no judgment from listening to women. Because most women are the front door to little girls and little boys. And when I see women say, oh, he was just a child. Kids do molest and rape other kids. You do know that, right? All the time. I wouldn't give a fuck if he was 5. If he did something that a little girl didn't want him doing, it's bad. His age does not make it right. So I'm just trying to see, without judgment, how do y'all process that when you learn that somebody in your neighborhood, rich or poor, is a sex offender and you said he just committed that. I'm not calling out anybody, but this is so important. This is so important. And this is why we host these types of conversations over here, because some of you are too liberal with your children. Some of you are too trusting with other individuals. Lock it up. Don't trust nobody when it comes to your kids, not even other kids. I wouldn't care what age he is. That's all I'm saying. That's all. Now, let me know if I'm being too harsh now. Because some people are new over here, but y'all, we just talk like this. I don't mean no harm. We talk about it. And I feel like if you put it in the chat, then you're okay with me calling out the comment and giving you accolades and or pushback at any given moment. Because I feel like most people that type in the chat, they understand, hey, wait a minute, at any given moment, she may highlight my comment. And when you type it, that means I'm okay with it, Queen. I know what I'm saying. SKR say, yes, a felon can get a power of attorney in Texas as the law does not prevent a convict. And I get that. So we're not talking about the law. We're talking about morality and integrity. Would you be okay with the sex offender SKR having power of attorney over you? Would you be okay with your daughter marrying a sex offender and him having power of attorney over her? We know what the law is. We know that anything could happen, but just because you can do it don't mean you should. Just because people think Nicki is a schizophrenic don't mean he should have and or establish power of attorney over her. Hell, he ain't even established power over himself to be able to control, according to the law, because he is a registered sex offender, his own desires of himself. They say he's taking her money. He's out there in the hood doing God knows what. I'm just asking, what are y'all's thoughts? Let's get into the gist of it. I'm trying to really take my time with this. So Gucci Mane and Keisha K. Ward brought up Nicki's name in the second incident when they felt like she did not give him thanks and that there's a lot of artists that Gucci is responsible for producing. Nicki Minaj, just to name a few, that have not given him his due diligence. Now, Gucci didn't say that. That came from Keisha. And some folks said, hold on, Keisha. You're out of line. Now, I'm going to have to take up for Keisha in that. Because if my husband put a lot of people on and they make it to the top, but he was the one that got them through the door, established them like Vince did with Lady Gaga, and your husband did all of the groundwork, the heavy lifting, and there's not 1 ounce of thanks, I would feel some kind of way as a wife. I'm not going to lie. I would probably be a little bit more vocal about that as a wife. Hell, wives are the ones that said, hey, he said no tomatoes on his hamburger. The husband's like, no, it's okay. It's okay. No, it's not okay. You told her no tomatoes. Let's make sure you get what you need and get what you want. However, receipts are a hell of a drug, because when they pulled up the receipts, and thank you to my team, I have a very fabulous research team that sent me the receipts of Nicki actually thanking Gucci Mane in one of her acceptance speeches when she won an award. Let's take a look.
Few people out, so I'm just gonna name them really quick. Will I Am, Fergie, Taylor Swift, who had a huge part in the success of CubaBiz. Elton John recently, but you know he's an icon. Christina Aguilera, Ciara, Alicia Keys, Mary J. Blige, Keisha Cole, Gucci Mane. Few people out,
And
so I'm just
Gucci
gonna
Mane.
name them really quick. Will I Am, Fergie, Taylor Swift, who had a huge part in the success of CubaBiz. Elton John recently, but you know he's an icon. Christina Aguilera, Ciara, Alicia Keys, Mary J. Blige, Keisha Cole, Gucci Mane. Few people out, so I'm just gonna name them.
This
really
was 3
quick.
years ago. Nicki's been gone from Gucci Mane's label for how long, y'all? How long has she been gone? So this was 3 years ago. She gave him props. She thanked him. Thank you, Aisha. She said, you're doing good, Queen. You're hitting the factual points. Shout out again to my research team, Somali Queen, Toot Latrice. Well, Somali Queen. Let me give Somali her props. But Toot sent this late tonight. Okay. All right. Years. Nicki has been gone for years. And 3 years ago, 15 years. Thank you, Simone. I knew somebody was going to come into the clutch. Nicki has been gone for 15 years, but 3 years ago, she's still thanking Gucci Mane. So why the fuck was her name brought up on that interview? Let me find some more proof for y'all. Oh, I got some receipts of the industry talking behind the scenes. And Lord God, I hope I remembered to send it to myself. I got it. Let's go. Here we go, y'all. I got some good, right? So then this guy comes out in the industry. Here we go. Thank you, Lord. I have it right here. I got it. I knew I was going to find it. Give me 1 second. Right here. Hold on. His name is Cousin Tino. He said the truth about radio programming and viral setups. One thing I've learned about radio and blogs, nothing is random when it comes to celebrities. Every topic, every conversation, and every interview is structured with purpose to spark something viral and to set up future talking points for the industry to feed on. Let's talk about the Gucci Mane case. He says it right here. Let's take Gucci Mane's latest Breakfast Club interview as an example. He was allegedly banned from the show after the viral moment 8 years ago when he claimed a co-host was throwing herself at him and he wasn't interested. So 8 years ago, for those of you that are not up to speed, the Breakfast Club banned Gucci Mane from coming on the show when he claimed allegedly threw herself at him. Correct me if I'm wrong. Gucci Mane came on the show and said that Angela Yee wanted him to have her. So the Breakfast Club said, you're not welcome here. And Gucci Mane said, not only was she throwing herself at me, I ain't want her. Let's continue. He says, since then, Gucci has dropped 15 plus projects and even a book in 2020, 5 years ago. The Gucci Mane Guide to Greatness. Yet he never got invited back. 15 projects, a book in 2020. He had pissed the Breakfast Club off so much so by accusing crossing the line. They didn't give a shit about how many projects he dropped. They didn't give a shit about his book. Wasn't invited back until now. Now that he's released a new project touching on mental health and schizophrenia, he's suddenly welcome again, but this time he's joined by his wife and not alone. Handler. This time we got to make sure. Oh, I didn't shut the damn screen. Yes, I did. So what he's saying is this time, hold on. His wife is going to be his chaperone. During the interview, his wife took the lead, describing her experiences helping Gucci through alleged episodes. Oh, this person said alleged because they're saying, like you and me, nobody even knew he had schizophrenia until she said it. We've never heard of it. Gucci has never been, I don't know, but let's continue. She even mentioned deleting apps off his phone to stop him from saying something online when she noticed certain signs, like him texting with periods after every word. That's it? Okay. The convo slowly transitioned from mental health. Watch this. They started off on mental health, and then it slowly transitioned from mental health to Gucci's legacy in the rap game, his influence, the artists he's helped, and who really held him down when he was locked up. When asked if any of those artists helped him during that time, his wife jumped in. Nope. Gucci said they all did songs with him afterward. Keisha, that's helping. That's helping, Keisha. And maybe they didn't do anything while he was locked up because they didn't want you to get the proceeds. I don't know. I don't have no problems with Keisha Kaur. But when he came home, they made sure they did songs and gave him work. Keisha said they didn't do nothing. Gucci said, wait a minute, they did songs with me after I got home. But they didn't really support him when he was down. No. They don't have to support you when you're in prison. That's your wife's job. But when you came home, they made sure you could eat. That's the most important thing to me. They made sure you could eat. The Bible says if a man don't work, he don't eat. They made sure you had work. They made sure that even though you wasn't fresh and hot, they still did a song with you. They still stepped down because even though you was Gucci Mane, you was locked up, nigga. You still rusty. You was behind bars. So they came in and made sure we're going to put you on. Shit, you put us on, we got you. Now, we may not be able to make it and come off tour and come see you and give you hot Cheetos and a soda water. Keisha got that. But we're going to keep the legacy going, not only for you to make sure you eat, but your kids eat and your family eat. Let's go. Let's get to the studio. That's all they have to do. To me, that's great. That's wonderful. It almost came off like his wife feels every artist who came up under Gucci should constantly acknowledge or praise him, even though many of them already have, i.e., I just showed you the receipts. Nicki has been praising you. We can go back 3 years ago. And she's been gone 15 years. She don't owe you shit. The real play, according to this person, then the host brought up Nicki Minaj, someone they've publicly gone back and forth with recently, 2 weeks ago, as a matter of fact. 2 weeks ago, unprofessional Breakfast Club. So they bring up Nicki Minaj when they're supposed to be talking about mental health, right? Her name came up multiple times throughout the interview, even though the segment was supposed to be about Gucci's mental health. That's when it clicked. According to this person. Watch this. This entire interview was programmed as a setup to create a narrative and a viral talking point. And now the same platform has flipped Gucci's mental health conversation into a public service announcement aimed at Nicki Minaj, implying her husband should take control of her life the same way Gucci's wife allegedly did. Then he throws in an excerpt and said, here's the media's pattern. Every time an artist or an entertainer defends themselves against the media machine, the media flips it. Suddenly, the artist is mentally what? Unstable. But think about it. How is it not mentally unstable to spend every day gossiping, stalking, and spreading negativity about people you don't know and then call them the crazy ones? He said the crazy ones are you, Charlamagne. You know what that part reminded me of? Dame Dash. They say he crazy. And he told Charlamagne, I don't respect you as a man. I'm not saying I agree or disagree. I'm just bringing it to your attention. He said, you sit on your ass all day and you gossip. Most men can't do that like that, hours and hours at a time. We not built like that. Most men can't sit down like that. It's dirty in here. You remember he said it's dirty in here. It's crumbs and shit all on the floor. It's dirty. It's dirt. And you sitting up here in here gossiping. So when this person said that, How is it not mentally unstable for you to spend everyday gossip and stalking and spreading negativity about people you don't know, and then you call them crazy? And then he says the power of radio programming. Most people don't realize this, but radio programming uses deep psychological principles, repetition, emotional triggers, the illusion of personal connection. Listen, that's why I tell you, we think for ourselves over here. You're not going to tell me what to think. You're not going to tell me she's schizophrenic if I don't know that. You're not going to tell me she's crazy if I don't know that. Do I like her antics? Not necessarily. But shit, if you think about it, everybody does it online, this and this and that. Do you call them crazy? No. Hell, you got some people that are called heroes for spreading hate. But let's continue. This is called the theater of the mind. It operates on a subconscious level, influencing how you think and feel, whether it's to sell a product, shape an opinion, or push a narrative. What he's saying, y'all, the power of radio programming. They're going to repeat it over and over and over. He's saying, pay attention to the Breakfast Club. If you start to notice, they're on Nicki Minaj. They're painting a picture that they want you to believe. They're using emotional triggers and they're using the illusion of personal connection. It's called the theater of the mind. Slowly influencing how you think and feel about Nicki Minaj, whether it's to sell a product, shape an opinion, or push a narrative. It's powerful, persuasive, and when used wrong, dangerous. Because Nicki has said on several times, Charlemagne, listen, I ain't taking either side, but yesterday I presented the other side of the argument. Today we're on the other side of the coin. And when you can learn to present both sides of the argument, it makes you a hell of a debater. Nicki said the other day, Charlemagne, Jay-Z is paying you. You're indebted to Jay-Z, and everybody knows it. That's what she said. Now, y'all choose to believe what you want. And then he goes on and say, final thought. Don't just listen to what's being said. Pay attention to why it's being said, when it's being said, and by whom. That's what I said. Lauren, what are you talking about? Lauren, it don't matter if she's schizophrenic or not. Why would you want a registered sex offender to have power over anybody? That's what we don't want them to have, even over Nicki Minaj. You remember he said, pay attention to what's being said, when it's being said, why it's being said, and by whom. And guess what they did? They let Lauren say it. Watch this, Lauren. You better be careful because they're setting you up. Let me tell you why. You're the newbie on the block. You're the one that caused the most confusion when you got into it with Jess Reyes. You're the one that people didn't want there. You're the one that people felt like didn't belong. Be careful, Lauren, that you're not used as a mule and or a tool. They're allowing you to say it, Lauren. It's coming out of your mouth. And if the shit ever hits the fan, guess what they do? You're the smart one. You're the researcher. You're the qualified one. The fall guy. They're going to get rid of you. That's why they gave you the most prominent job. And they can all just chime in. But hey, Lauren, that's Lauren's job. To talk about what she wants. We gave her the freedom and the flexibility. And he said, that's it. And then Academics TV says the Breakfast Club defames Nicki Minaj as a bipolar and schizophrenic. Since when did these niggas become doctors? Exactly. Bingo. And I don't even fool with nobody. Academics are nobody. But I know right is right when I hear it and wrong is wrong. When did you become schooled and scholared in the School of Psychology and medicine to be able to say that Nicki is indeed sick? You're out of line. It's reckless. Oh, Joy B says you're smart. She said, damn, you're smart, queen. Thank you. I'll take it. I spend a lot of time by myself reading and writing and thinking and processing. I do. I make sure that I come prepared for y'all. I filter in what feels right, what doesn't. Even when I see it in black and white, I'm like, where are they going with this? And I'm not a supporter of any of them. I'm not going to say Lauren's in danger. Thank you. She just needs to be careful. That amount of freedom, and they didn't even want you there. You're the fall guy. They're letting you go. Jess is sitting back. She'll chime in. But if anything, Lauren, when you score big, you're the winner. But as soon as you drop the ball, it's your fault. So be very careful. Let's get into some more receipts, honey, because we got them. Hold on. Hold on. Let me get to my receipts now. Watch this. So Nicki said, Keisha been trying to be me. We played Deb Anthony yesterday. And Deb said, Gucci Mane, before he got married, had a problem with Nicki because he couldn't sleep with Nicki. Nicki was one of the few rap girls that wouldn't give up the poom poom. Nicki didn't want him sexually. And Deb said, unfortunately, he couldn't stand her because she would not give in to his sexual advances. Let's listen. We're going to play that. And then we're going to get into the part. Here we go.
Oh, what hurt me? Gucci couldn't stand her. He didn't like Nicki. Why? Because he couldn't fuck her. He didn't like her. But for you to give these big ups to this shit that he did, that shit was crazy. He didn't do nothing for you. He didn't even like her. He had a fit when I had him getting on a record.
Oh, are y'all catching what's happening? The conflict of interest. You had Deb Anthony. You had Nicki Minaj. You had all of these artists as a family. Deb's, now according to Deb now, she said, I'm trying to keep them together as a family. And you giving this nigga, she's validating that Nicki did pay homage to Gucci. She's saying you giving him thanks and shouting him out at award ceremony. Y'all. 3 years ago, this nigga didn't even like you because he couldn't take advantage of you sexually. Listen to her again.
Oh, what hurt me? Gucci couldn't stand her. He didn't like Nicki. Why? Because he couldn't fuck her. He didn't like her. But for you to give these big ups to this shit that he did, that shit was crazy. He didn't do nothing for you. He didn't even like.
Oh, thank you, Deb. She cleared the air. She said, Gucci wasn't a man behind your success. You don't owe him shit. You didn't have to thank him. And you let the industry press you and pressure you to make you think you owed him something. The only thing he wanted from you was to get on top of you. He wanted you sexually. And when you curved this nigga, he had the audacity to establish rage and hate in his heart. Behind that, you don't owe him shit. Nothing. And then Nicki, Deb did this long time ago, y'all, way before this happened. This is not recent. Deb said this a long time ago. Watch this. So after Gucci Mane and Keisha K. did their interview, Nicki fired off. Nicki said, Keisha been wanting to be me. Keisha been trying to be me. Now, of course, people like, those of you tuned in say, girl, hush. Because y'all know we hear that all the time. Girl, ain't nobody jealous of you. Baby, when I tell you the internet dropped the receipts. Nicki long time ago in her outfit as a child, you could tell clearly. If you look at this, Nicki is clearly a teenager. Way before Keisha K. got with Gucci. Keisha got with Gucci. Now she's wearing the same outfit. And it's childish, right? But I'm just pointing it out. Now she wearing the same outfit that Nicki got on. Okay. Everybody like, okay, girl, that's one picture. Girl, be quiet. Keisha ain't trying to be you to hell. So then they pull up this. This is Nicki. And it says 90% of people associate Nicki Minaj to Young Money and Lil Wayne, but only 10% will remember she rocked with So Icy 1017. This is Nicki is a girl, a young teenager with Gucci Mane. This is Nicki with all them niggas, these rough riders, these roughnecks. Look at Gucci, Nicki and Gucci. Been there. Now, if you think about the similarities, see, most men have a type. And I'm not even making Gucci or Keisha wrong or Nicki wrong. I'm giving you all sides of the coin. That's why I tell y'all, be cool. Let me get to it. Nicki and Keisha have some of the same similarities: skin tone, build, hair texture, height. So Gucci has a type. Nicki was definitely his type. I can see him. Okay. And then if you go to Keisha, same skin tone, brown, beautiful brown skin, beautiful girls, bodies similar, waist snatch, booty, all of that. Tough, rough around the edges, but beautiful packages. Yeah. Okay. Then we go here. Okay, Queen. Okay, but that still ain't enough. Then we go here. You see Nicki in her dress. Look at y'all. Look. Come on now. We got the pictures. I'm not saying it's true or not. My job is just to show you the receipts of what Nicki is talking about. You take with it what you need and you discard the rest. That's Kevin Gates. Hold on. Let me see what else I got. We try to do our work over here now. And then here's another one, y'all. And they said, this could not be a coincidence. And I think this is Lil Baby. Is that Lil Baby? That's Nicki. Who is this, y'all? Is that Lil Baby or the baby? It's so many damn babies. Look at Nicki. Who is that? Toot, who is that? On the left. They all look alike to me. I'm sorry. I was right. That's Lil Baby. Okay. So you see Nicki with Lil Baby in her outfit with her socks, her green, her blonde hair. Y'all, why Keisha? I'ma just say, I'm not gonna say copy because that's not fair. Adorn the same look, the same color scheme as Nicki. Does it matter to me? No, it's not. But I do want to bring up the receipts to validate what Nicki's saying. All right. Now, we ain't never seen that many similarities between celebrities. You get what I'm saying? What are y'all's thoughts on this? And should I open up the lines for a little bit? Should we do like a late night call in, or y'all straight? Hold on. I think somebody just sent me some receipts. Let me see if I can play it. I just got some last minute receipts that just came in. Hold on. Do y'all want to come in? Should I take a few callers? Y'all want to speak your piece on this, or? Okay, they said, CC say this is some single black female-ish stalker. Who did Keisha scam? I don't know. I'm not going to accuse her being a scam now. I don't want to say that. I don't want to go that far. But I feel like I will say this, Monique. First of all, that's a good question. I feel like if anybody's diagnosed with a mental health, our job is not to abuse people with mental health. We're there to guide and provide assistance until they are well enough to carry the ball on their own. And I mean that with the utmost respect and the utmost empathy. Your job is not to squash them, minimize them, or take away their freedom and their rights. Once they get balanced and we're able to get them under control and get their meds, we want them to go back out and function normally. It's no different than somebody passing out from dehydration, right? You pump them full of fluids, they get well, they feel better, they're not as tired. Okay, I'm ready to go. Oh, they're saying open up the lines. Okay. The only thing that gave me a slight red flag in that interview with Keisha Kaur is when she made him stay against his will. When he's under a doctor's order and they got it under control, why would you not want your husband to come home? Why would you want him to stay? You said you're not afraid of him. Now, has she said, I'm afraid of him? I need to be sure. They asked her in the interview, are you afraid of him? She said, no. If she would have said, yeah, I said, you know what? I don't blame you. Shit, I understand, girl. She want to make sure he doesn't pose a danger to himself or others, but she didn't say that. She said, no, I'm not. So what would be the purpose of making him stay when they've gotten everything under control and he's on his meds? Is it because you want to go on the boat with Carlos King? I mean, I ain't gonna judge you. If you want to go on the boat and have some shit and go out and say, you know what, I'm tired. Say that. Y'all. Tell the truth. See, that's why you got to tell the truth, because it's people like me that are savvy enough to tune in and say, hold up, Keisha. Now, you out here giving mental health consultations for $550. Now, if the truth be told, I don't really think it's mental health consultations. I've already told you all what I strongly believe. I have to sit back and process what makes the most sense. Surely you're not dumb enough to give mental health consultations when you're not a practitioner, because that's against the law. You can go to jail. Somebody calls in with a mental health issue, you're not qualified. You're not learned. You're not a scholar. You give the wrong advice, somebody could take their life. Are you really willing to put your entire fortune on the line? Nah, you don't sound that dumb. You're the woman that turned $1 million into $3, $5, $6 million. So what are you really offering in those $550 consultations? What seems more like right? I don't think you're giving out mental health consultations. What I think is happening, I think you have a sophisticated level of conservatorship. I think what you're selling is a way to talk to people with money and teach them how to subdue and take control and the rights over other people with money. How to take guardianship and power of attorney, and it's hidden under the umbrella of mental health consultations. I don't think that girl's dumb enough to do that, because you can go to jail for that. That's what you're doing. You're selling courses on conservatorship. Hey, Keisha, I need help. My grandmother got da-da-da-da-da. She got money. How can you, I can give you a consultation. That's what I think you're doing. That's what I think you're doing. She ain't that dumb. You can't give a mental health consultation, y'all, if you're not a doctor. She going straight to jail. I had to think about it. What could this girl be selling? I know she ain't talking to broke people. She don't seem like the type that will rub her elbow with somebody that ain't got no money. Oh, okay. Thank you, Unique Monique. She's a very smart woman. Y'all, you got to ask the right questions. I want y'all to listen to these people, but then come back and step away and use your common sense. Say, well, wait a minute. Now, why would Keisha K. War, a woman that took 1 million and turned it into millions, be taking $500? Hell no, that don't even make sense for mental health, right? No. So if it don't make sense, it's because it's not true. What could she really be talking about? Keisha out here teaching these people how to take over grandma money, allegedly, husband's money, allegedly, establish power of attorney, allegedly, have a sophisticated form of an informer conservatorship, in my opinion. Welcome, the Queen Tulsa. What are your thoughts?
Greetings, Queen and Palace. You know what? This sounds like a Sabrina Morrissey course, just in black form. It's very scary, to say the least. But we have to think about this. When we think about this man that was in the industry, he was interested in Nicki Minaj. She wasn't. And that's one thing that I have to applaud her on is we didn't hear her being a jump off or, sleeping for records. She actually had talent. And I think, growing up in Atlanta, it's very fast, and it's, I've heard stories of people sleeping with people for songs and stuff. So rejection is a real hard pill to swallow. When you can't get your way and you're used to getting your way. I do feel like Gucci Man is under a love spell. I feel like he's up under somebody's love spell. I feel like with Nikki going through her traumas of being
Hold on.
raped and her mom.
Hold on. Explain to them, in your opinion, what you believe a love spell is. Because some people, I don't know. And can you elaborate?
Okay. Yes, so in some cultures, like Haiti, Jamaica, even like, people in the USA, they believe in like witchcraft and things like that. And so a love spell is a spell that you will put on a loved one or love interest, and you would make them fall in love with you. I've heard several times Gucci said that he didn't want to be with her. And I think that's a trigger for her. And once she does that, when she snaps her fingers, I think that she's, getting that spell back in motion. Allegedly. Yes, I think she put a root on him. Yeah. Allegedly.
Yeah,
Um,
okay. Let's say, watch this, watch this. Hold on, because you might listen. Listen. Let's talk about it. Because watch this. When he's off his meds, according to her, he says the most egregious things to her that a man should never say to his wife. And he tells her, I don't like you. I don't want to be with you. That's what she said. I'm not making it up. In that interview, she said when he's not taking his meds. Now, she said not taking his meds. Some people online beg to differ. They said no, when you don't have him, when he's not sedated. Because how we know you're really giving him mental health meds? What are your thoughts on that based on what you say the love spell?
Well, I feel like there's just more than a love spell going on. I feel like it's a destiny swap, being that she's mimicking everything that Nicki Minaj is doing. Okay, I get the last photo that you had brought up, like in the green, where Nicki is sitting on the couch with little baby. Did you notice that she had a long red couch? And let me show you how to do this. And I'm in front of him, and he's in the back because you could barely see Gucci.
Oh, let me pull it up. Give me 1 second. That's a good call out. Hold on. Hold on. Let me share my screen. Give me 1 second. And y'all, for those of you that are new over here, we just kind of break things down. Don't mean we're right, but at least it gives y'all a little bit more insight outside. We gossip, right? We're going to entertain, but at least we give y'all a little bit more to take away and consider. That's it. That's all.
Now you see how Nicki is on the sofa with little baby?
On the left.
She just on like a regular sofa just doing her thing. But you
Mhm,
got Miss Extra over here. She had to let you know that it was a long red sofa.
mhm.
And instead of her having Gucci in a different color, he's blending in with the sofa. Like, where's the rest of his body?
Mm. What do you think? So outside of that, what are you coming up with? You look at this picture.
Energy. I think this is like a destiny swap. She wants to be the Nicki Minaj. She's got, I mean, from the hair to the nails. I wouldn't be surprised if they had on the same color panties.
So are you saying that? Let me ask you this, and I want to put words in your mouth.
Okay.
Even though he's the artist, she's fading him into the background somehow by her Keisha K.O. What you trying to say is her Keisha K.O. persona overshadowing the artist Gucci Man?
Absolutely. She's already accomplished him. Let me tell you how, because she's already got him under her tutelage. When she says jump, he says how high. And he's already in line because he can't even have a tantrum out in public. Or, she's gonna have those people
Come
you
get him.
know, come get him, and they're gonna haul him off.
Okay, hold your thoughts. Hold your thoughts. Let me go to my super chat. And then we're going to go to the next caller. And y'all, this late night. I know some of y'all at work, you're in your bed. Listen, get up. Get a glass of water. Or if you just laying down, that's fine too. But if you up, shit, you may as well have a glass of wine. Hold on. You know why? Because money comes to me, flowing
Money comes to me, flowing effortlessly. Money comes to me, comes to me. Money comes to me, flowing effortlessly. Money comes to me. Money.
Oh, nice. For an effortlessly. Denise, aka 1908, just bought and purchased a Queen Sheba Darling membership for somebody. So if you just got a notice that you're a member of this channel, you're like, what the hell? Somebody bought that for you. Congratulations. Thank Denise. Musings, thank you for the 20-piece and a pepper. She said, hold up, Queen. Cardi did say that Nicki was diagnosed with schizophrenia. 9 years ago. And then the Breakfast Club conveniently brought her up during the Gucci interview. These people were working together and directed by Hire Us. Boom. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying they're right or wrong, but y'all, can I say something? Have you ever messed up at your job and maybe a couple of people don't like you and they all work together to get you the hell out? That's all. Welcome.
Yes, Queen.
Yes, exactly. Welcome, little Miss Toot Toot BB.
Hey Queen, hey Queen Tulsa, hey chat.
Hi,
Listen,
beautiful.
how you doing? I this is my observation. Um, as far as Keisha Kaur, I didn't watch her interview with Carlos King. One because she was just too comfortable with the lap thing. It made me uncomfortable to see that. Um, I feel as though she is Gucci's handler. I also think that she tried her best to run 1017 and could not because Gucci was out here. He found Pusha. See, Gucci does have a gift. One of the things that is undeniably Gucci is that he knows how to find an up and coming artist, especially a trap artist, a hood artist. He has a talent for that. All the ones that he signed up, pretty much with the exception of probably two out of Memphis, have either gone to jail or they committed some crime or they were killed. All after he gave them a 1017 chain. Oh, it could, I mean, now that I'm thinking about it, allegedly she is smart. I mean, don't they be putting insurance on these rappers? Came over to Bessemer, gave a $50,000 to a little guy over in Bessemer. Still hadn't seen anything happening with him. Set up here. All I'm saying is that I think it's more when a woman can come in, they can take you away from your family. I have heard personally from someone who worked with his aunts that he does not fuck with his family at all that is here in Alabama, to include his son, his mother, his brother. I'm just saying, it's just something different about that type of control to be able to take someone and break someone away from their family. And I'm not
Okay.
saying all family is good, but something else is going on with that relationship. Because once he got out, he's been different ever since. And he was too happy, Queen, to say he was schizophrenic. I'm sorry. He
He
was
was too
happier than a
happy. What?
schoolboy to say he was schizophrenic. He was just way too happy.
Okay,
When we,
pause. I want to talk about it, y'all. For those of you in the chat and those of you on the panel, I really want y'all to think about it. Listen to me very carefully and then be thoughtful in your responses. Gucci came up on the Breakfast Club and readily admitted that actually Keisha said it. Gucci didn't say it. Keisha said it. It's just hit me. Keisha outed him. Okay, number one. Number two, this is a yes or no. I'm going to bring up Erica so she can be a part of this. Let me go ahead and bring her in. And hear me out, y'all. As it relates to Gucci Mane, yes or no, do you feel like, and those of you in the chat too, just give me a yes or no, that the public has open arms for him being a schizophrenic? Yes or no? I'm going to start with you, Erica. Yes or no?
You said, do they have a what now for him?
Open arms. Open arms. Do you feel like he's well received?
I'm gonna
Yes or no?
say I'm gonna say half and half just because of how she went on the Breakfast Club. You know
Okay.
how they tried to roll it out, so to speak. You know.
Okay. And I'm going to come back to you and let you get your full say. Don't worry about that, Erica. I got you.
Okay.
Queen Tosa, yes or no?
Yes.
Little Miss Tutu. Toot on mute. She probably
absolutely, Queen.
okay.
Absolutely. I think so.
Okay. Watch this. Watch this. Y'all already know I'm going somewhere. If you over here and you've been rocking with me,
Mm-hmm.
how come we don't have that same acceptance for the women, aka Nicki Minaj? If Gucci Mane, according to Keisha Kaur, gets online and shows his black ass, How come we don't have the same love and acceptance and open arms for Nicki Minaj?
And she's a black woman. She made it. She should be fucking thankful and grateful. She just needs to shut her damn mouth sometimes and just go along with the program. What is she so? I mean, we out here struggling. We want a career like hers. We want the bank account like hers. You know, those are my thoughts.
Okay. Okay. And hold on. Miss B say, oop, got him. And this isn't to trip anybody up. Y'all got to be careful that people don't condition you not to like other women when they have or could be suffering from the same conditions as a man. Everybody running to Gucci's. Yay, Gucci, you did a great job. And he has schizophrenia, and that's why he acts out. But with Nicki, bitch, get offline, shut up, ho, lock her up. Her husband. Really? Oh.
Facts.
Oh. And Keisha said she had to change his passcode. She had to kidnap him. To my knowledge, Nicki ain't never had to been kidnapped. I'm not a fan of either of them, y'all. I'm not that dedicated. I'm not that involved. I love to steer and facilitate a great conversation. Let me go to Erica. Erica, what are your thoughts on tonight's conversation?
I honestly got a few things to say. I wanted to remind everybody and take people back down memory lane with Keisha Kaur. I want everybody to remember that she was overweight first. Remember, she's had a lot of work done. If y'all don't remember, then she came out with
How
the
overweight was she?
she was heavy, and so she had hella work done. She
Yes,
remember
she
she was
did.
selling waist trainers. Remember, that was the first thing. Then she went to the glitter lips and things like that when she brought it here to Bronner Brothers, and she did really good selling it here in Atlanta because you know we had the Bronner Brothers convention here, right? But I saw somebody say she can have any man she want. No, not necessarily, because she wasn't where she wanted to be. She didn't look how she wanted to look. And let me say this too about her. She was dealing with him early on, way before people, like people saw it. Because we would be out like Misha Connor, them, we would see them together. But what I wanted to say about her is people forget she got a lot of kids. She don't even bring up her own family and her own background.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. So you
Because Kaya
only
and
getting
T.S. Madison brought that out.
she only showing y'all what she wants y'all to see, which she make it seem like it's just her, Gucci, and the baby that she had. But to me, how can you push helping people with mental health when you look like a bobblehead, girl? You look crazy as hell. You done did all this stuff to yourself. Why would I want to follow anything you have to say when you mentally ain't situated to even, you get what I'm saying? Put yourself in a situation where I'm all for maintenance and making yourself better. But when you take yourself to a point where you look anorexic and you look like a bobblehead and you saying you want to lead people, I'm gonna need you to make it make sense. Now back to Nicki. They giving Nicki a hard time because Nicki is not crazy. She far from it. But Nicki just got to change the strategy and how she finna try to go against the machine. And the thing is, they mad because she really does have the power. She has exceeded, the career threshold and all of the things. So it's like all of the things that they can use to take her out, they don't really have the power in that regard because she's exceeded it. She has a fan base like no other. So it's like they doing whatever they can to try to, you get what I'm saying, bring her down. So
They have
in
to
my
be careful. Let me tell you why. I mean, I want you to keep going. And LaDawn, you're up next. Let me tell you why I say that, Erica. Britney Spears has a hell of a fan base, and they still was able to finesse her into that conservatorship. And that's why I said what
agree.
I believe is what I'm witnessing in real time is slow and steady. It's like a slow kill where Gucci Mane is being pushed into a sophisticated level of a conservatorship. Keep going, Erica.
Yeah, I was just saying for you, I agree with you 1,000%. So I'm hoping that Nicki kind of gets a grasp because she got to switch her strategy up and how she gonna, spearhead this situation and how she feel like they trying to take her down. Because I think she far from crazy. Mama Deb is a real one. She been down since day one. And also she also said too that they tried to offer her 5 million to cut ties with Nicki. And she made it clear. She said, now you know I needed the damn money.
Yep.
She said, but you know what? That's my child. And I'm gonna never take my hands off my child. And
Let me
so she
play that.
always been a real
Let
one.
me play
Huh?
that to back up that you speaking facts. Hold on. Hold on. Let
Mm,
me validate what Erica's saying. And then LaDon, you up next. Hold on, Erica. Give me one
mm.
second. Because we got receipts now. Hold on now. Here we go.
See, it ain't a dollar out there. They offered me $5 million to get away from Nicki.
Wow.
Really?
I needed that $5 million. Shit. But you can't pay me enough.
Mm.
You can't do that to me. I ain't never got to speak to her again in life, but that's my child.
That's what I want to ask.
Let me redo it. Let me redo it. Hold on.
See, it ain't a dollar out there. They offered me $5 million to get away from Nicki.
Wow.
Really?
I needed that $5 million. Shit. But you can't pay me enough.
Mm.
You can't do that to me. I ain't never got to speak to her again in life, but that's my child.
That's what I want to ask.
That's my child.
I know that's how you feel. That's the thing I.
That's it. The industry has been, according to Deb, coming after Nicki Minaj. They offered her $5 million to turn on her. And she said, I needed that money. Baby, let me tell you something. You could have gave me $5. Here she is. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm trying to be funny. Erica,
Hey, Queen,
I want to give you
Queen,
30 more seconds before I
I
go to
just wanted to
LaDon.
say one last thing about Cardi
Mhm.
B. And in that regard, with her, you know, people aren't paying attention to the bigger picture. She did come out with, I'm sick of her because she just throws a rock and hides her hand. And I don't like people like that because y'all got to look at it. She came out with the album, I Am the Drama. So she already had a whole plan on how she was going to, you know, go at this situation. But my issue is you went on the Breakfast Club with your chest out. You said that you was addressing everybody, but then you threw a rock and hid your hand when it came to addressing Nicki when you knew that you addressed her on the album. Nicki gave you grace. She gave you a 7-day time frame for your numbers to come out. They didn't add up. And that's when she responded to you. But then you want to go and play games. Oh, they're coming for me. Which if people don't realize, that's what she does anyway. That's her MO. And if anything, people need to be paying attention to her mental health issues because for you to leave Offset and go repeat the same thing twice is
Damn.
insane to me. That's insanity. So
Watch
that's
this.
mental health more than anything, in my opinion.
Thank you, Erica. We're finna go to the next caller. Everybody mute
Okay.
up real
Okay.
quick, and I'm gonna keep coming
I'm
back to
mute.
y'all. I'm gonna keep coming back. But watch this. Watch this, y'all. Watch this. The next female artist that's up on the guillotine, if you pay attention, is JT. JT, because she won't fall in line and work with Young Miami to bring the city girls back together. Hold on. Let me go to LaDon. LaDon, what are your thoughts?
Hey, Queen. Hey, Palace. I was listening to everything, and Keisha Kiora and Gucci Mane. It brings me back to Mike Tyson and Robin Givens on that interview when he was spaced out and Robin kept answering the questions and the mental control that she had over Mike Tyson and how she single-handedly destroyed this man because of the power she held over him, because of the conservatorship and acting like he was crazy. Mike Tyson doesn't take medicine today once he got rid of her, you know, and he's living a decent life. I think Keisha Kior was out for fame and money, and she found somebody just as broken as her. And she found the angle how to maneuver and control the situation while getting everything she wants. She did deny her kids, and she continues to deny her kids as if she just made this perfect family with this man. It's just them. You know, it's kind of sick and twisted if you really think about it. She wanted to erase everybody like she was a virgin, just met him, and they just had kids, their first kids together, and they're married forever and rich. He didn't seem himself to me. When she was talking, the way he kept looking at her, showed me that he wasn't as comfortable. He even acts as if somebody who is being controlled. And people that want to deny that is because they want to deny it, because they might like Keisha. I don't know. But the thing about, and I also agree with the Nicki Minaj and Cardi B, I think that for them to say that Nicki is, mentally ill because she's speaking her mind is absurd. But Cardi B can go online and start crying and pitching a fit and be talking crazy, and they don't throw no labels on her. I think at this point it's not what's right, it's who they like. And it's sad because people stay sick that way.
I love about you. It's like, I still love you no matter what.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
Queen, you might be on mute.
Oh, okay. I was double muted. Okay. I'm so used to doing that in Zoom calls just to make sure I don't. I said, thank you, LaDawn. Everybody hang out. Queen Tulsa, what are your thoughts? And then we're going to go to 2.
You know what? It seemed like, Keisha K, or I'm going to get back up on her. It does seem like she has like this. It feels like the Wendy Williams is like, okay, is he able to spend his money? And then, it's like, oh, if you get out of hand. And it makes me figure like, okay, if he's on vacation, what was the action plan? So, if you're going to be educating people, okay, say if he acted up in New York, would he be over there in the Wendy Williams situation? Go ahead.
You know what, Queen Tulsa, just to LaDawn, when you mentioned Mike Tyson, I also remember that when he finally snapped out of his alleged sedation, he was explosive and he beat her ass.
Yeah.
And that is when Robin took him to court and got her settlement and got the hell on.
Mm-hmm.
And he was messed up for a little. What's that, Queen?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, and I think that is why Keisha Kaur says that sometimes when she sees that he's about to have an episode, she tries to snap him out of it, because it's when he tells her how he truly feels when he's lucid. She knows that, I don't think, in my opinion, that he wants to be with her anymore.
Or never had. Remember, she said he was telling her that. Hold on, y'all. Before she married him. Then he got locked up. Soon as he came out, they start to plan a wedding. They force. Has she always been? That's why I said handler. Has he ever had the freedom to choose on his own? That's what we're talking about. We're not making her a bad person. We're questioning his freedom. Has he ever had the freedom to choose, or has the industry always been in charge? Cat Williams said, this is what they do. They attach you to a long-faced, light-skinned girl. Oh, y'all quiet.
But you know what, Queen?
Looking at these thumbnails, Nikki got a long chin.
When I think about it more, I personally attributed a lot of what Gucci was. He was out of Bessemer, Alabama. And if a lot of people know, yes, he grew up in Atlanta. However, there's something about Bessemer born. And the people from Alabama know what I'm talking about. He was heavily doing his drugs, his lean, and he was not a healthy person. He couldn't help but to get healthy once he got out of jail, and she kept him healthy. But I also feel like from the moment he stepped out of jail, that is when her control started, because when they got married, that is when he or she forced his family, his mother and brother, away from that wedding.
I
say, that was being filmed.
I think you're right, but I think her control started when he gave her that $1 million to hold.
Yep, because she keeps throwing it in his face. And that's he probably says behind closed doors, I don't want you. I never did. You'll never be a Nicki. And that's why she's trying to morph into Nicki.
Now, I don't think Keisha flipped that on her own. I think because when I listen, I'm not a hater, but back in the day, that's before. Uh, when I think about when Keisha did what she did and she said how she did it, it was unheard of. Now, I'm not saying it's not true, but I wonder if there's silent investors that are sitting around waiting for a payday. I can't help because there was no way back in the day doors were open like that for Black women, distributors, manufacturers, people that could help you with marketing and promo, payment systems to be able to push out that product line as it relates to waist trainers and lip gloss. I just couldn't see the numbers adding up. And I'm a product developer, right? By day. I didn't see the numbers adding up to be able to flip that into 2, 3, 4 million without an outside source or another man directly involved that
It
Gucci may
was
not be
one.
aware of.
Yo
Huh?
Gotti. Yo Gotti.
Okay. Go ahead. Talk
Don't
about it.
forget, Yo Gotti said on the Breakfast Club that he had her. And I do, and one thing about it, Yo Gotti has always been a street nigga. And that's how he came up with his rap and being in the street. And now he is where he is today.
That's good stuff. Y'all, we talking, ain't we? Listen, I want to play this clip by Nicki Minaj that somebody sent me to utilize this research. Hold on. With her talking about her drug use and how they're trying to paint her as crazy when she's not. Hold on. This was 6 years ago, y'all. 6 years ago. And here we are today. Listen, it's been a long time coming. Let me tell you something about them people. When they want you, they want you. And if you have been following me for a long time, we talk, we have a good time over here, but then we going to go back to make it make sense. And we found a clip by Dr. Louis Farrakhan, and he talked about the new way that they entrap Black people. They're going to give you enough money. They're going to give you enough freedom. Because back in the days, you didn't get that. You had to sing, run, nigga, run. But we're going to let you do all of that. But this time they flipped the system. Give them some money. Make them millionaires. But at the end of the day, he said the game is the money has to come back to us. Who are us? I'm not going to say the word. It has to come back to us. So if I lock you up, if I make you crazy, if I take away your, who was Kanye signed with? Adidas?
Yes.
Yeah, Adidas. Uh-huh.
Did you understand what Kanye said? What he did to get out of the contract?
I think so. I think he played a little something and then switched something in the wife's name or.
Okay, I'm gonna let you guess. And then Erica, do you remember what he said?
What Kanye said, I can just
Uh-huh.
tell you firsthand from my own personal experience, and I'm
Okay.
I'm transparent, so I'm
Mhm.
I'ma always keep it real. You know, again, you know my baby daddy is Rico Wade, so at the end of the day,
I remember you now. Go ahead. Go ahead.
anybody who know Rico know he always been getting high, whatever
That's
the case may be.
right.
But at the end of the day, when he met this white, you know, I don't want to cuss on your thing, but when he met this, you know what I'm saying, trash, whatever, at the end of the day, I feel like how Black Sam said when he did the interview, who sent you, bitch? But it's okay, because I'm here and I'm gonna tell, listen, I've been standing on the neck, crushing skulls from the day that, you know what I'm saying, he passed, because that's my job to stand on business for my baby daddy and for my kids.
And you
But at
still
the end of the
fighting.
day, you get what I'm saying? Who sent
Yep.
her? Because she
Yep.
came from nowhere.
Yep.
And you get what I mean? So it's all a ploy. And I just want to say this too for Nikki. And this just, I want everybody to remember this. Like, and I hate this because I really love Jay-Z. But at the end of the day, y'all got to remember when he started that title company, y'all don't know what he promised her, right? And y'all got to remember her and Beyonce, all them, they helped him build what he felt like was gonna be similar to like the next iTunes. Do y'all remember y'all picking up y'all T-Mobile phone and you
Yeah, I
know
remember it.
having
I
and
remember.
not being able to get no Beyonce music, right? Because it you get what I'm saying? You had to go to title to do it. And so Nikki trusted you with that. You probably promised her a certain amount of money. And then when that deal fell through and title didn't work out how you thought, How y'all think Nicki feel right now? Fast forward to the deal falling through. Y'all think she lying about him owing money?
But
Yeah,
can
he
we
owe
say
her
this?
money.
Do you
Let's keep it
remember
up.
when Nicki and Beyonce had did an album together? So
I
that
was
was a
at the
ploy.
free
Yeah,
concert. Remember when
yeah,
they did the free concert in Brooklyn?
and
I went to that.
that
I
was a
went to
ploy
that.
to get her to believe Jay-Z's business plan,
And
allegedly.
Y'all,
I'm with you. And let me just say this real quick. So think about this, how Nikki feel. She stayed down with you. She gonna help you build something from the ground up. She gave you pretty much, out of faith. All right, you could take my music over there, and then when things didn't work out, you gonna come and sign this Bigfoot musty heifer over me. Think about how she feel, y'all. Like, let's just
wait,
keep
hold
it
on.
above.
Who is the Bigfoot musty heifer?
Megan, so you gonna do all this and play in my
Oh,
face? Let's be
But
real.
but
Let's
also
be
hold on, hold
Nikki
real.
on, hold on, hold on.
Nikki actually said that once they had the signing where it was all video, it was all public and it was everywhere, that
Mhm.
it was only after the music went over there and it was time for the pay to come is that he said that there was another contract she was supposed to sign to get her money when she's been saying what we agreed upon was the contract that I signed. So now you're pulling out this false contract and trying to make it seem like because I didn't sign this new addendum that I can't get
Mhm.
my money. And that's not what it was. We did a whole production of me signing the contracts, and they were real contracts.
That's why I'm not too much on Meg the Stallion because 1501 and Jay Prince issued the same type of behavior and authoritative behavior over her. So if you
Mm.
start to look at it, who's the lesser of the two or three evils? 4, 5, 6, 7, P. Diddy, Jay-Z, all of them. They're all doing the same things, y'all. It's like when I went to the P. Diddy trial, and one thing we learned is, oh, they all doing free calls. They just run them differently. They all they're all predators in the record industry. They just run their shit and their labels differently. And one thing
Mhm.
Kanye said, and I feel like Megan was on her way to being crucified. I'm gonna tell you this. I talked to somebody that's one of my subscribers. We talk all the time. She said, Queen, we got to talking about Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lorenz and Kelsey. I said, you know what that was? Why? Right? She said, what? I said, none of y'all got it. That was a flawed hit. That was a flawed hit. Megan was supposed to be up out of here. Jay Prince, 1501 allegedly. Rock, what is it? Rock Nation bought you out. You finna play with us? Okay. How your bodyguard leave his gun with you? He go, what cop and bodyguard that leaves a registered weapon with you? Hey, I'm finna go out of town. He was telling you something without telling you something. Conveniently out of town.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, your life, there was an attempt on your life. I ain't even get into it. I never wanted to cover it, but I said, baby, that was a flawed hit. That was a flawed hit, period, point blank. You were supposed to be up out of here. Because one thing, if you understand about a concealed gun class, is you don't pull a weapon unless you intend on taking somebody up out of here. Now, the dynamics of who had and who pulled the trigger, it don't matter. The point is she was supposed to be gone. And ever since then, Megan quit talking. Megan quit talking. That was a flawed, if you think about it, a flawed hit.
I
And
believe.
Tory Lorenz went to prison. Okay, that was a hit.
Tory Lanez.
Yeah, what they say, Queen gonna
It's
fuck up
late.
around here.
And let's keep it real, Queen. And let's keep it real. How your best friend, your ex best friend, gonna be working for the whole label after everything went down? Is working for the label
Because
that's
really,
been
that's
doing me
who did
dirty.
it, not Tory.
Yes, they sent Kelsey.
Kelsey.
They sent
Because
her
y'all gotta
out of
remember,
money.
Tori was at the party and he politely sent her home, y'all, in a black car. Cause he said, look, Kylie trying to get with me. And these girls is on me, baby. I'm gonna go on and send you on your way. Cause technically nobody was supposed to know that Tori and Meg was even dealing with one another. Remember? So to me, that speaks to Megan's character. Cause if Megan, what's her name? Kelsey supposed to be your friend. How you messing with your, you know what I'm saying? Your friend's dude behind her back. That's another story for another
We got to
day.
do this. It was a
But he
setup.
sent
So
her
it,
on
it
her
was,
way. Yeah, he said, let me send you home. Megan came back. That's what people not addressing. And
She
that's how
came
the whole
back.
thing jumped off with her and Kelsey. Tori is a Leo. To me, it's when we be Leos, it be loyal to a fault. So you ain't say nothing. When the act of the matter is, they the ones who got into it. She the one who did it, not him. That's what's unfortunate about that, I think. You know?
That's it. That's it. That's all. I wanted to play something for y'all real quick. Give me 1 second. Hold on. Hold on. I think I got it queued up. All right. This is Nicki. Hold on. Damn. How come this thing won't come off? Give me 1 second, y'all. Okay, there we go. Here we go.
in the volume. Queen, is this supposed to have audio?
Yeah, we can't hear it.
Oh, y'all can't hear it? Y'all
Not at
can't hear it?
all.
No, ma'am.
For
No,
real?
no.
Hold on. Give me 1 second. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. I don't know what's going on. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Let's try one more time. You know what? If I can't use it, I can't use it. I'm going to try one more time. Give me 1 second. Thank you. Give me 1 second. Let me hit pause. All right. Hold on. Let's see if I can get it here now. Let's see. Here we go. So, all right. Let me know if y'all can hear it. If not, I'm not going to even push the, I'm not going to try to force it.
Bitch was on a song I was on.
Here's my.
Can y'all hear it?
We can hear
We
it.
can hear it. Mhm.
All right. Here we go. This is Nicki.
Because she had Joe Button on, and apparently Joe Button had been spreading lies about Nicki Minaj, so she addressed him face to face.
You said many times that I lied, that I didn't know another bitch was on a song I was on.
Here's my question.
And now you want to address it.
Can I ask a question now? Was Nicki Minaj and Cardi B on the motorsport record directing bars at each other?
What the You're not going to change the subject. I'm asking you a question.
That's the same subject.
No, it's not. I said I knew the bitch was on a song. You said she didn't know she was on a song.
Nigga, I don't believe that I said that. If you want to be
Oh
honest.
my God.
You believe that Nicki Minaj was aware that Cardi B was gonna
Do you have a twin?
Drop on the clues, Nicki Minaj.
Yeah, Nicki played that.
Told her, she had that ready.
Hey, when
She
she
was
Get
ready,
the audio ready.
I love
She had
Nicki
her homework
Minaj.
Cue it up.
When she
Nicki say you gonna quit lying, bitch. Do you have a twin? Let's continue. Hold on. Let's continue.
she's right. Yeah, nothing you can do about that when she got you there, buddy.
All right, now Nicki Minaj also talked about how Joe Button accused her of being on drugs.
It's okay for you to get up there and make me sound crazy and say I'm on drugs, right?
I wish people knew I'm most comfortable in the most uncomfortable predicament.
And so am I. And what the you won't do is disrespect me like I'm stupid. Because you know how intelligent and powerful I am, like you said, right? I'm so powerful, right, Joe?
Or because my mother raised me properly.
Oh, so your mother raised you to accuse people of being on drugs? That's what your mother raised you to do? Your mother raised you. Your mother raised you got taste of your own mother medicine, mother. You like talking about people and not having nobody responding. You like tearing down people's character when they can't respond. And you like tearing down women when they can't defend themselves.
Woo.
Damn.
All right. Well,
Wow. Shout out to Mama Button too, man. She's very, very pleasant.
So this is an excerpt where Nicki called in to clear her name and say, "You're not gonna lie on me." Let me go to Just real quick, y'all, 30 to 15 seconds each, 15
Queen,
to
can
30
I
seconds.
go? And I'm gonna drop down this too.
Okay, go ahead.
First of all, I want to say this right here. It was, and as we heard with Gucci with his apology, he is the one to not only to start the rumor that she was a hoe and she fucked the crew is what they said when that was not true, and she always denied that, and that she was on drugs. Also, Soldier Boy came out and he did the same thing after she was working with Soldier Boy. He came out and apologized and said he was only repeating what he had heard. So all I'm saying is that we tend to be, yes, I think anyone in Nikki's position who has been on for as long as she has been on, knowing that pretty much every female artist that is brought into the game is brought into the game to come at her. When you also have men in the industry, the producers, you have the record labels who are also coming at her, who the hell won't have a little crazy? Who won't be a little crazy when you're standing alone and you're having to fight alone when you're dealing with the industry? And that's all I have to say, Queen. Thank you for having me up.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming up to. You know what? We may as well give our final thoughts because I didn't realize we've been on here for a little bit over 2 hours. Let's go to LaDawn.
I just think this was a very good conversation. Queen, I think you was on point, on both ends and how you tied it together from yesterday. And I'm just going to see how this unfolds. Good night, ladies.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Musings, you just called in, but you dropped before I could call on you. You did it. You was backstage. I was going to call on you. Do what you just did. Musings, she clicked it. She did it, but she got impatient. They don't know how it works. So she dropped down. Do what you just did, Musings, and I'll let you come up. I'm dropping a link. Let's go to Queen Tosa.
Yes, thank you so much, Queen, for having me. I was just going to say we need to definitely keep our prayers up for Nikki, and just know that when you're a truth teller and you're speaking your truth, you're going to get backlash. But if we continue to keep speaking for her, then it helps. I mean, when we see something, we got to say something. And this whole Gucci Man situation with Keisha K, or I definitely feel like it's a set up guardianship, in my opinion. And she's already blocked the family out. So is there any help to get him out? I think not, because she's moved everybody out. She's already power of attorney. But let's just keep our eyes on this case and keep our eyes on Nikki. Thank you for having me.
Excellent point. So Musings, all you have to do is click the link. You were up here. You just left. It's like hanging up the phone. So you click the link and you do what you did earlier. And you come in and I'll put you in the call, but you have to wait. You have to stay patient. Erica, what are your final thoughts? Musings, hold on.
I just want to say too, I agree with
Hold on, Erica, because let
Okay.
me help. Because sometimes people are new and they don't. So Musings, click the link. I just dropped it behind your comment. I'm giving Erica time so nobody feels rushed with their final thoughts. Give me 1 second. Okay, she got it. Okay, Musings, just stay there. Don't do nothing. You got it, Musings. I can see you. Like them little kids say, I can see you. All right. Erica, what are your final thoughts?
No, I just want to say thank you, Queen, because you always allow the platform to have the conversation, and that's really big, first and foremost. So thank you for that. And she is right. We do need to keep our prayers up for Nikki. And just my final thoughts is just with the whole, all of it to me, when it comes to this industry, it's such a deep rabbit hole, and it definitely goes dark. So it's all about how everybody addresses it and comes, and how they're gonna, I say how they'll go at it with the strategy on how they will handle, you get what I'm saying, how they will deal with what's in front of them. Because at the end of the day, it's all a matrix in a sense, if you just want to look at it for what it is. You get what I'm saying? But what I will say is I'm a fighter. So
Listen, I knew you. You came over here months ago and talked about your husband that was a rapper. And
Mhm.
then you never came back. And we was like, oh shit, everybody's like, I know him. You gotta come back, Erica, because you really, I mean, you fit right in
I'm
with
back,
us.
y'all. I love y'all. You know I love
We
you,
love
so
you
I'm
too. So
back.
keep coming.
Yep, and we'll be at One Music Fest this weekend because they will be honoring Rico this weekend, Dungeon Family
Amen.
and Future.
Amen. And you enjoy yourself.
Love
Okay.
y'all.
We love you too. I love them glasses, girl.
Thank you.
All right, friend.
See
All
you.
right. Musings. You got the floor. Musings. Let's do a mic check. It's your first time.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Welcome.
Okay. I'm so technologically challenged. Like
We
I didn't
all
even
are.
realize. Okay, thank you. So, and I've been a member before, and I never knew how to join. I would really love to have a conversation with you one on one, just to give you some background information that would kind of help illuminate this discussion even more so. Just to start though, all of this stuff that's going on, right, with Charlemagne and the Breakfast Club and so on and so forth, it's not about Cardi. It's not even about the Breakfast Club. You have people, corporations, right, high up. This comes down to money. This first started with them wanting a larger share of the female rap market because Nicki has such a large share of it. And all of these years have gone by, and she still holds this larger share of the pop as well as the female rap market. So all of this comes down to money. Regarding what's happening right now, this stuff has been happening for years. They literally, when you hear people say that they brought Cardi into the industry to take out Nicki, that's what they did. So no, it's not about Cardi. Even Joe Budden was complicit with it. All of them were involved in this conspiracy to try to take this woman down. And unfortunately, because Black women, we are the most hated being on this earth, and there's a lot of self-hate, there's a lack of empathy for Nicki. So there's this need for people to want to humble her. And a lot of things that I hear people saying, it even comes from the lies that have been being spread. You shared the information about her being abused by her father. Where does that information come from? That comes from the very same people that are pushing this hate campaign out. Nicki never said that she was abused by her father. In fact, when she was having this little Twitter back and forth with Cardi, a couple of weeks ago, Cardi is the one that tweeted that. And Cardi is the one that tweeted that Nicki was diagnosed with schizophrenia 9 years ago. These things are being done by design. The Breakfast Club and Charlemagne, they have ties to Roc Nation. There's a larger company, a larger media company, all the way at the top. And Charlemagne is actually paid by them. In addition to the fact that he was also paid by the record company that releases Cardi's music. So it's so much, and it's so deep. And it's really unfortunate because I think what it shows is that people really hate Black women. You could say that Nicki Minaj is arrogant and she's this, that, and other. A lot of this comes down to people hating Black women. And you remember, I was so happy when you threw your hat in the ring with the stuff that was going on with Melody, because it was a similar dynamic where it took people a while to realize that Melody was under attack. Oh, I don't like her. She's too prissy, or she's this, that, and the other. And then you realize, oh, this woman has been being under attack. In regard to Megan reached out to Nicki, just like all the girls do, begged her for a feature. That's where the beef started. Nicki gave her a feature for the Hot Girl remix. The song blew up. The Barb supported Meg. And then Meg was supposed to do a song with Nicki. She never did the song. That's where the beef started, because she used Nicki. And this is before she was even signed to Roc Nation. Then she signed to Roc Nation.
Watch this. So now that we know, and I'm not disputing you, but I like where you're going. That's why I didn't interrupt you. And I'm gonna let you have
it's a lot more else that I could share, but go ahead.
No, I'm gonna let you share it. So this is
Yeah.
the part where we act like we're at the kitchen table, right?
Okay.
If we're at the
Yes.
kitchen table, I'm gonna jump in, you gonna jump in, and I'm gonna say, that's good, but wait a minute. Now that you know what you know, that 1501 had such control and Jay Prince has such control, it really wasn't Meg that reached out. It was the fucking men that reached out and didn't return the favor, and they put Meg's name on the line. What are your thoughts?
As far as I'm concerned, it's really neither here nor there, because what I'm talking about is this pattern of people saying that Nicki beefs with all the girls in the industry. All the girls come to Nicki to get a feature because they want the Barbs to support them. So whether it was 1501 or whoever it was, whoever was even if Nicki was beefing with 1501, whatever the situation is, this narrative of, oh, Nicki is beefing with Meg, that's what the industry then pushed so that they can then say, oh, Nicki Minaj be beefing with all the girls. So whether 1501, brokered it or was involved in the background, I mean, it doesn't change anything, because men are basically the ones that are running everything and pitting women up against each other. And then it's the white folks, to really be honest with you, at the very, very tippy top, that's making most of the money off the culture, and have all these dumbass Nicklets, the Charlemagnes and the Jay-Z's and so on and so forth, doing all the dirty work, and the 1501s. But what I'm speaking to is this narrative that she beefs with all the girls. The same thing with the motorsport song with Cardi. All of that was fabricated. All of that was fabricated. We're going to get her on the song. Then we're going to turn around and say she didn't know. Then Cardi going to say that she said something about Cardi's daughter. All of this was fabricated. So, and again, it's not really about Cardi because she is a puppet. But the point is the fact that so many Black women love Cardi, and she's come out and called us niggers and monkeys and all these horrible things. There's some self-hatred involved. And the fact that she gets to say and do things that Black women are completely torn down for. Like, this is like spiritual warfare.
I agree.
This is like, this is bigger than Nicki. Like, where we are right now as Black people.
Okay, say that again though. This is bigger than
spiritual. This is bigger than Nicki. This is spiritual warfare. This is how they literally have made so much money off of our culture. And the fact that this Black girl never signed a 360. And someone mentioned something about then Jay-Z went and signed Megan. Jay-Z wanted to sign Nicki, Wayne, and Drake. They looked at Jay-Z like he was beneath them.
No. Who looked at? The men looked at Jay-Z like he was.
Nicki, Wayne, and Drake looked at Jay-Z like, what the hell do we look like signing to you? They didn't want to sign to him. So part of his beef with Nicki is also because she did not want to sign with him. What does she look like signing with the Jay-Z? And that's a whole nother discussion that I can get into, this whole thing, the situation with Jay-Z. She's not coming for Jay-Z. He has been doing all these things behind the scene, and he has been doing the bidding of white folks. And we've seen him do the same thing with the NFL and cutting Colin's throat. This is what he does. And when he attaches his name and Roc Nation's name to these big business deals, they're literally just the help. You don't own anything. You are literally the errand boy for these white folks.
But before, so here's the thing. I want to pause you.
Yeah.
I want to get in here. Before I go to white folks, we're going to get on the elevator.
Yeah.
Toxicity, deceit, conniving, thievery, bribery,
wickedness,
trickery, all of that. You're going to get on the elevator. There's 10 levels to the elevator. On the top, number 10 is the white folks. Before you get to the white folks, you got to stop at every stop. Every stop is a Black folk that's going to help you get to the white folks. And it's a mandated stop. I can't blame the white folks when the Black folks are the handlers. Let me tell you what I mean by that. I work for I've had the pleasure of doing work for a multi-billion-dollar global corporation that has money, not national, global. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, yes.
All right. And I had to make sure I emphasize that. Y'all, global is all over the world. National is in the US. They have enough money to bring in and pay anybody. So when people come in and say, "Can you talk to my job?" They want to pay you $500. I wish the fuck they would when they pay everybody 50,000. 500 is like vending machine petty cash, okay? Make a long story short, they brought in Carnell West. They have these ERG groups, employee resource groups. They have Asian, tech, blah, blah, blah. Black people focus on the entertainment part. The Asians will focus on innovation, creativity, product development, blah, blah, blah. But you get to do what you want to do in your ERG groups. So the Black people decided in the ERG group that I was a co-lead. They wanted to bring in Carnell West. I thought it was a great choice. It was great. They brought him in, they paid him his fee, and he began to talk about creating a revolution and what's the problem in the Black community. He said, you got to create a revolution, a renaissance. I'm sorry, a renaissance. He said, the problem is y'all are putting niggas in places that are not loyal to you. The problem is y'all are putting niggas in places that have a price tag on their head that will sell you out for... They're not representative of you. So a lot of y'all are going up for these people, these Black people that have no allegiance and no alliance to you. They don't see you. They don't hear you. You're out of their tax bracket. You're out of their placism, their neighborhood, their zip codes, their education, wherever they send their kids to school. They will never talk to you. Do you understand me? And if you say, "Hey, how you doing, Jay-Z?" at a fucking Starbucks, his bodyguard will rough you the fuck up. So I just...
May I interject? May I interject?
Yes. Hold on. I don't want to preach hate.
No, and you're not, and I'm not preaching.
What I do want to say is for you guys to say, hold up. I get it. I'm not worshiping anybody.
Yes, yes.
Jay-Z is just a man that's married to a woman. I don't give a damn if she's Beyonce. But at the end of the day, I know if I ran into her into a Starbucks, she would look at me like, "Oh, get away from me." And not because she's a bad girl. It's called placism. And one of my good friends, they buy out companies that are fledgling, acquisitions, mergers. They put a lot of money on the line. He said a lot of Black people don't understand how the game goes. It's all about money and placism, which Black people confuse with racism. He said, do you know there's a lot of Black people that won't even talk to you because you don't match their fly financially? Go ahead.
So I just want to interject because racism is ultimately about placism, classism, power, money, control, all of those things. But the reason why it's important to place white people in this discussion is because it's important to know where the root is. So when people, for example, have discussions about colorism, right? And they don't understand the fact that colorism is an extension of white supremacy. You got to talk about where it started from. You got to talk about the root. So we can, it's not saying that it's only the white people's fault, but it's important to place who is really benefiting the most from this, who has ownership of all of this, who put together these schemes for streams when they're literally paying artists pennies. You have to name them in the discussion.
But watch this.
It's essential to name them into the discussion, along with and to also understand our history that they have decimated us.
Well,
they have decimated us. So when you see us behave in a certain way where we don't love each other and we value the dollar and we don't have any allegiance with one another, it's important to understand where that came from. Even when we have discussions about Black people beating their kids, it's important to understand where that came from. That is from the legacy of slavery.
Can I be honest with you?
Beating our kids in Africa. We got that from slavery. When you go and
yeah,
get
but I don't. But hold on. How long have you been over here? And this is what I like. I love people that come over here. That's been over here. How long have you been over here in the palace? If you had to guess, you don't have to be spot on.
I think probably I picked up on you because I felt really frustrated about what was happening with Melody and the fact that no one seemed to see it. And then you popped up, and I've just been a fan ever since because I said, oh, so what is that, 4 or 5 years?
I've been, maybe 3. I've been here 3.
You've been here, yeah. So for the whole time that you've been here.
Okay, you've been a day one.
I've been a day one. Yes, ma'am.
You know how I get down, right?
So when you made this video, I said, okay, we're cooking, because I know what she's going to do with this. Even before I even watched the full video, I already knew, oh, if Queen Sheba is involved, you know what I mean? Now, of course, I have a lot of background information on it, right? So little things.
You bring the good relevancy, and you can reestablish the baseline. Because you know what my white boss told me a long time ago? You only know what you know until you know something else.
Right. You only know what you know, and
until you know something else, and nobody's going to blame you for that. But when you learn that something else, it's your job to pivot in real time and say, okay, guys, we're going to go a different direction. Hold on. We got a little bit more information. Here's what's happening. So you are the here's what's happening. You got it?
Oh, yeah. When Omar had a discussion where on his channel, he recently said, most people don't have the time, right? If you, when Nicki comes out and insults someone, if you take a moment and you look at the person that she's insulting, and you look at what they might have posted a week back, then you start to put the pieces together. Most people don't have, the energy to do that. And I don't even really need the energy to do that. Like yourself, my spirit can just let me know something is not clean in the milk.
I agree.
And this is very obvious to me that this is a setup. And then when you go and you look at it and you see that Charlemagne is on the payroll, and then you look a little bit further into it, and this is not the first time that they've had people come on the show and attack her.
Okay, but, let's do this. Garcelle Bouvet went on the Breakfast Club this morning. She's a Real Housewives, former Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I give Garcelle a very hard time. Listen, people don't understand my humor. They don't understand my strategy. They don't understand my tactic.
Why do you feel like you give her a hard time?
I do, on purpose.
Okay.
There's a strategy in everything I do. Okay, but hold on. I'm coming to that. Come back. But here's the point. She needed to step up. She did, in my opinion. But the point is, she went on the Breakfast Club. They're interviewing her. They get to a point where they start to talk about mess. Gucci Mane went on the Breakfast Club to talk about mental health. Watch this. That was the primary focus. I read the whole manifesto of the person in the industry that put it out. This is how this works. This is why he went. This is where it went wrong. Then they introduced Nicki Minaj. Garcelle Bouvet goes on to talk about her new movie. She's on a roll. She's on a roll. Then they enter and start to talk about Bose St. John. Why y'all not talking? And Bose said you unfollowed her. And Garcelle paused. She gave him 1 or 2 answers. I think it caught her off guard. And then on the third question, she said, I really don't want to talk about that. That's not why I am here doing this interview. I'm doing this interview to promote my movie. And I said, yes. Watch my language. And I never say this. Yes, bitch. Yes, bitch. Yes. You schooled the fuck out of the Breakfast Club and you reminded them why you were there. You brought them up to par. You did not let them bring you down. You are the professional in the room. They're supposed to be the professional. And you reminded Lauren not to play with you. It was Lauren that asked the messy question. Charlemagne and the rest of them would ask what was up to par. Lauren said, can we talk about what? And Garcelle said, that's not why I'm here. And you know what I heard her say in real time? That's not why I accepted this interview. This is beneath me.
Yeah, they put Lauren up to do all the messy stuff, and her
focus on, but if you focus on Garcelle and what she said, and what I heard is, I accepted this interview because you and I agreed that we would be here to promote my movie, and I get up in this motherfucker, and you want to talk about mess. Let me tell you something for those of you that are tuned in. You run the interview, not the interviewer. Go ahead, Musing.
It's just so much that could be said, and it's just so disappointing. But you mentioned it earlier tonight that Lauren was the one that brought up, well, Nicki said this and Nicki said that. If you look at some of the Breakfast Club's interviews, I mean, we're talking about whenever she joined, I don't know how long she's been there, 6 months or a year, whatever the case may be. You can see when she started to very subtly say derogatory, say little nitpicky things about Nicki, because she got the memo, right? So this memo from iHeart and then the people above iHeart, you got to play ball. You got to play ball. You got to get on this Nicki hate train. This is what we do over here. This is what they're having us do. And she is, doing it full force. And it's unfortunate to see. And I think that for a lot of people that are in the industry, and Armand has impressed me with his moving away from being so messy. But he made a comment about people are not going to speak up because this is how they eat, right? We will sell each other out in a heartbeat. So if I need these connections, if I want these connections, I'm not going to cross Jay-Z. I'm not going to say anything negative because I'm just trying to eat. And then in regard to JT, I just want to say this really quickly in regard to JT. JT is actually signed to Rock Nation. So JT. Yes, ma'am. Yes,
I knew it. Hold on, wait, pause. We got to talk together. Hold on, just pause, because I like the pause. I'm a Scorpio.
Honey.
I'm
a Scorpio too. We're both Scorpios, ma'am.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Man. When your birthday? When your birthday?
November 5th, ma'am.
I didn't know you was a Scorpio.
I thought maybe you could tell.
Well, I knew you were sharp, and I enjoyed listening. I love smart people. I love smart people. Do you not know if you're smart, I will be quiet and give you my platform? Have y'all noticed that? As long as you make sense, you got it. But listen, let's pause together because we love the thing. Okay, wait a minute. You said JT is signed to Rock Nation.
JT is signed to Rock Nation Management.
You signed to QC, right? Quality, Q, whatever.
QC was her management and her label. Rock Nation is a management company now, right?
Okay, pause. Business. So they can take in that. Hold on. You're on it. Hold on. I love it. I love it where we're going. I love it. You got to come up here more often. Wait. So didn't I say the next up on the list was JT?
You did.
Instinctively, I said that.
You said that.
I always say, I said, I'm rarely wrong. Now I be wrong. But rare
because she went against the grain. Now she also came to Nicki begging for a feature, and she got that feature on the Freaky Girl remix. She got the feature. She got all this attention. Young Miami got mad. People were trying to drag her X, Y, and Z. And then out of nowhere, she stopped fooling with Nicki. And then she signs to Rock Nation. That's the pattern.
Hold on, pause so they can take it in. And if we think about who signed to Rock Nation, it was Nicki.
No, Nicki was never signed to Rock Nation.
Why she? Okay, pause.
Oh, never. Are you kidding?
It's Meg.
Megan went from 1501
to Rock Nation.
To Rock Nation Management, and allegedly they did this whole thing around her being an independent artist, where she's really not independent. She has distribution through a major, record company. Oh, so 1501 was her label.
Gotcha. But follow me.
Yeah, go ahead.
So we got Meg, we got Nicki, we got Cardi, we got JT. We got
and Cardi also recently signed to Rock Nation.
Okay, watch this. I should just pause. Just pause.
Mm-hmm.
Because I want the audience to soak it in. We pause. Okay. So we got Nicki talking shit about Jay-Z. All of a sudden, we got Cardi B and JT coming after Nicki. Right, wrong, and or indifferent, whether you feel like it's justified or not. If you look at the synchronicity of it all, you're like, hold on now. How often do you have 2 or 3 rap girls going after one? It's almost unheard of. I'm not saying Nicki's innocent. That's not what we're saying. But you remember when I read the thing about the guy, he said, if you understand media, I read a manifesto disposition of this gentleman that's adjacent to the entertainment industry. And he broke down how interviews work and how there's a target and what you're aiming for. And everybody has to come together to hit the same target. This is what we're going. You're going in for this mental health. They're going to tell iHeartRadio. iHeartRadio is going to notify Charlemagne, Lauren, and all of that.
Right.
Listen, Gucci Mane's coming in. Mental health. I want you to insert Nicki Minaj's recent social media rants. Does that sound similar? Take it where you need to take it.
Of course.
You get what I'm saying?
Of course I do. And another piece of it that you are very familiar with because of your background is engagement farming, right? So in addition to the fact that they have these radio personalities.
Cardi is signed to Atlantic.
Cardi is signed to Atlantic. Rock Nation is not a label. She is signed to Rock Nation for management. She just recently signed to Rock Nation for management. They are management. They are a management company. So
that means they're going to negotiate her deals with
exactly.
20%, 15 or 20% of whatever.
This is an endorsements game. It's not about Megan has not sold albums and I don't know how long, but she has gotten endorsements that Rock Nation goes out there and gets it, and they get 20% of it. So y'all can keep saying that Cardi not signed with Rock Nation. She is signed with Rock Nation Management.
Okay.
So
y'all hear that?
Let's send that, and then it'll come back up in a little
let
bit.
them take it in now. We
So
pause.
the next thing I wanted to talk about.
No. You gotta let them. You gotta pause a couple of seconds.
I gotta pause. Okay.
Let them because they gotta type. We gotta let them type. So we pause so they can type in and take it in. We let them think because you and I are up here. We can fire off. But I like them to get up out the bed. They might be in the bed, girl. They might be working Amazon night shift. Like fuck that. Let me go get my phone out of my locker. I'm listening. Let them run. They got 30 seconds. Well, they know how it works. Hold on. And then we let them get in the chat. Give them a second.
Okay.
Give them a second. That's why we love each other over here. Long-winded pause.
Yeah, I got
okay. Shay P says that's how Cardi got Jay-Z. Okay, rolling back in the
Hello.
bush. Okay, I told you. I told you they come out.
Clock it. And then and it wasn't, and it's not a Jay-Z sample. It's actually Renee and Angela. Clock that.
All right, let's see what else they got.
Imaginary Playmates.
I told you, just let them come out. Cardi signed a deal with Rock Nation. Her best friend, Kim Barbie, posted that she didn't sign. Y'all, they saying she signed to Rock Nation Management. Okay, so y'all can type in chat. But we just want to bring you. Listen, I hope y'all are having a good time on this show. I told you we bring facts. We gonna bring you up to speed. We gonna give you some entertainment.
Thank
but
you,
we
Anna.
also, and then you can let it go, or you can come back tomorrow. But you can always plug this one as one of your favorites and say, you know what? I'm at the 2 hour and 42 minute. I'm gonna go back to that video. Go ahead.
So what I also wanted to mention is this engagement farming that happens. So something that I like to point out to people that they may not understand. A lot of people have been brainwashed to not like Nicki Minaj. You have a conversation because she nasty, because she always fighting with the girls, because she always doing this. You know how many bots they pay for online to say negative things about Nicki every time they put out a video? And then you have all these people underneath the video saying all these, it's called engagement farming or bots, whatever you want to call it. But if you do it long enough, and then you also have these larger media companies that they're doing what they're doing, it creates this environment where she is going to be hated, right? And you even see people making comments, and even tonight, oh, well, she really is a mean person. And where are you getting this information from? You have been programmed. Is she talented? Is she eccentric? Is she not humble? All the things she can't be as a Black woman.
I want to say something, and I apologize for cutting you off, but let me say this.
Okay, please say it.
It's crazy that I'm having a conversation about Nicki Minaj, and let me tell you something about celebrities. They do be listening. You'll be like, oh, they're not here on 500 shit. They could have been the first one up in this motherfucker. And still up in here. But let me say this. Nicki Minaj has me blocked. Because listen, I'm an equal opportunist. I'm coming at you one way or the other. And Nikki has had me blocked for years, and I have not been a blogger. Nikki had me blocked when I was a regular person because I said something to her. I don't get on social media and call people names, but I held her accountable for whatever she did, and she blocked me. And it's crazy because I thought, little old me, I didn't even know that lady read those comments. So that's why I say you never know where they are. I was just a regular smaggler probably about 9 years ago. She blocked the fuck out of me. And
she's very aware of everything that happens online.
Yeah, that lady is very in tune. She goes through I don't know how she goes through all of those comments, but I know she blocked me. And I wouldn't like so here's the thing, Nikki, if you're over here, right is right, wrong is wrong. You got me blocked. I don't care about all that. But we going up for you tonight. Tomorrow it may change depending on what you say. And not only that, Nikki, they're about to blackball you in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
She's already been blackballed. She was blackballed in 2018, and she's already blackballed right now. She's already been blackballed.
Hold on, I'm pitching myself. Should you ever need an outlet in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you reach out to me. Don't send your team because I don't answer messages like that because I think it's spam. You reach out to me directly. I got you. Let's go. Music.
Yes, I mean she's blackballed right now. She was blackballed 6 months ago. She was blackballed a year ago. And the blackballing initially started in 2018. That's where they, kind of propelled, Cardi and said, okay, this is what we're going to do, and so on and so forth. Someone else pointed out the whole situation where Cardi will throw a rock and she'll hide her hand. Something that she didn't mention, and I don't know if someone else mentioned this or not, but Cardi had gotten to it with one of Nicki's fans. And there's a video where she is saying, I'm going to outsell. And that's a fact. And everybody's going to be mad and so on and so forth. And she wasn't talking about she's going to outsell a JT or a Bia or a Megan, right? Because these girls are selling like 60, 50,000 copies. She was talking about Nicki Minaj. So when she did not outsell Nicki Minaj and she sold under 200,000 copies, right? This is another thing that's really interesting. She sold under 200,000, and I'm not a Barb. She was already blackballed. She sold under 200,000 copies. They rounded it up to 200,000, which they never ever do. She sold the album for $4.99. They allowed her to give out coupons for $5. But when Pink Friday was released in 2024, no videos, no promos before she dropped it. They removed 100,000 of Nicki's sales because she did promos for the Barbs. And then once her album was dropped, they changed the rules. They did the same thing when she dropped the Queen album in 2018. The Billboard changed the streaming rules.
Okay, but here's the thing.
Here's been going on for years.
Here's the thing, Musing. Pause. That's where you need a good team that can outthink and predict the machine. Nicki, this is what they're doing to you. Next time we're going to be ready. We talked about it over here. I don't know if you're familiar when we did about a year and a half, we did a segment on Saturday on the show called I Said What I Said. Mm-hmm. And we started to talk about Taraji P. Henson, right? And I don't know how we got on it. And we started talking about Taraji P. Henson coming off of Empire and I know how we got on it. We started getting on it because we said Oprah. That's when it was big in the media that these Black women were saying that Oprah own network, Disney, whatever. Put them, not Disney. Who owns own network? It's not,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
who?
Isn't it own?
No, it's a parent company over owned.
Oh, okay, okay.
Oh my gosh. Anywho, it's gonna come to me in a minute. So they were saying that they got put in these trailers that had leaks. They didn't have any food. Taraji said, typically when I go to a movie, Discovery. Thank you.
Discovery, yeah, yeah.
It was Discovery. Thank you. Taraji said, listen, I ain't never, shit, she was in Benjamin Button with, what's that man named? Brad Pitt. She said, I ain't never had to drive myself to a movie set. I'm working with the likes of Brad. Watch this. Listen to me very closely. She said, I've worked with the likes of Brad Pitt in all of these really great movies. This is the first. She said, I found myself having to go through traffic. I'm driving myself like a regular person. I'm pulling up the set, raggedy ass trailers, no food, no this, no that. We literally had to call a meeting between us as cast members and go as a collective just to ask for a sandwich. Not in those words, but I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? So where am I going with this? Hold on.
You basically said that Nicki needs to figure out a strategy.
Okay,
And I have a response to that. Go ahead.
So then we get into that. She does the color purple. She's complaining about it. We go on my channel and we start talking about it because outside of that, she talks about how she fired her entire team that happened to be Black. And she says, one thing about us as Black people, we love to hire each other. I'm going to make it happen. She goes, but did you know Empire was one of the biggest projects I had done? But when I came off of Empire, I had nothing lined up for years.
Mm-hmm.
And when she did the math, they ate off of her. Everybody benefited off of her working except her. She fired them. So then we had a big debate on this channel. And I said, that's what we get for hiring all Blacks. People got mad. I said, there ain't nothing wrong with it. I ain't saying not to hire us, but you better throw in some diversity. How can you ask for diversity, equity, and inclusion when you're not willing to do it? I said, because here's the problem. Black managers, Black agents can only take you so far. Those white ones that work with Brad Pitt,
they have connections.
Thank you. And people say, no, that's not true. Yes, it is. She needed to diversify her team, even if it was a small handoff in the interim or temporarily. And she said herself, the Black people ate off of her. She paid them the most beautiful dollars. And at the end of the day, they did not. They made it seem like they were working, but they had no work lined up for her. And it was, and she almost went broke, y'all. And then I said, she should have had A, B, C, D. And then when we started to do the math, we came to find out, oh, wait a minute, it's different in Hollywood. Not even a white agents will work with Black people, the most prominent Black people, because their cut on a Black person that's at the highest of the totem pole is different from their cut of a white person that's in the middle. They still get paid more working with a middle level white person that's an actor than the highest paid Black. So somebody said she can get Brad Pitt's team. I said, not really. Because if they don't see Brad Pitt money come from Taraji P. Henson, it's not worth their what? Time. What are your thoughts?
So my thoughts on that is that, and this is where we start talking about the white folks again. We have a recording industry, right, that has for years stolen from our culture. How many stories do we have, right? Amazing Black artist that just never got paid and blah, blah. If you talk about disco music was soul music, right? And then they took it and rebranded it. So we can have that conversation all day. Nicki was strategic with Pink Friday. At any point, Billboard can decide to change the rules because we're talking about billions and trillions of dollars. So hear me out. You have a female artist that has a large share of the rap industry who is not signed to a 360 deal, right? We want young girls that are going to come after her. We want them signing to 360 deals. We don't even want them making money from their music. We don't even want them owning their music. We want them to get endorsements here and there, and then we're also going to get a percentage of those endorsements. So it doesn't matter what type of strategery that she tries.
Uh-oh. I think you got a call. So she may have gotten a call. Musing, you can hear me. When somebody calls you, it kicks your audio out. Don't try to talk. It's going to take you at least 2 minutes to come back in. Yeah, she cut out. That means her line was interrupted. Musing, somebody called you, your audio went out, or her phone died. Let me drop her so she can redo it. I'm going to kick you out the studio. But was this not a good ass conversation tonight? So thank you for everybody that came over from Twitter, YouTube, the Barbs, the people. Listen, we try not to be disrespectful, but we still want you to be strong in your opinion, okay? That's what it's about. Hell, we don't expect you to roll over and just talk your shit. Because some of y'all are putting some really good stuff in the chat for us to consider. That's it. That's all. And I love what we do over here because it's a great example of how we can come together and we can stand on business and say, no, that ain't true. I don't believe that. Here are my thoughts, and we can communicate effectively, and we do all of that. I agree, Rena. Rena said them folks cut her off because she's telling too much, period, point blank. That's what I believe, Rena. I'm a ride with Rena. But some people believe otherwise, and we still create a space over here for Rena, the ones that don't ride with me and you. They say, I ain't riding with you. I ain't getting in the car with you, Rena. I ain't getting in the car with you, Queen Sheba. You drive too fast. I don't like where you're headed with this. That's fine. But me and Rena are going over here. Eat Heavenly Cupcakes Forever said, Black Ball started after American Idol. Girl, I remember that. Oh my God. You might be right. I remember that. Oh, you know what? I just may have to go back and look at the clips. I just may have to go back, and I remember that. You remember she told that dark skinned girl she need to wear more. And I was that girl's color. You remember she said, you need to, who put that makeup? You remember Nikki told that girl, I can't remember that little girl's name. She said, who put that makeup on you? You need a color. Do you remember that, Cupcake? Two said, it was said that Mariah was intolerable. Man. Hold on. Trey, you focus on the wrong thing. Trey said, oh, y'all supposed to be paying attention in class. That just lets me know. I'm glad I'm not a professor and or a teacher, because y'all don't pay attention to shit. Trey is focused on the wrong thing, and I'm doing the lecture in the class. He says, Queen, hold on. Queen, where did you get that picture of Charlemagne from? Out of order. Let me switch it. I'm tired of it. There you go. Is that better? You're supposed to be paying attention to me, not Charlemagne. Thank you, Eat Heavenly Cupcake says, excellent conversation. Y'all, we gonna go to bed. We had a good time tonight, didn't we, Catalina? Catalina, did we not have a good time? Oh my God. Who is Mimi? Who is Mimi? Y'all, when I don't know nobody, I'd be like, we have a joke over here. When I don't know who you talking about, I'd be like, who? Who? And everybody keeps saying, who? I love Mimi, but she's a diva. Who? Who is Mimi? Sheila Shay says, this channel is maturing my mind. Girl, we have a good time, don't we? Sheila Shay. We do. We really do. I'm riding with you, Queen Sheba. Look now, but now why was Trey focused on Charlemagne in this picture? Why you care? I had to put this one up here. Look. Come on, Trey. Let me go to that one. Y'all, thank you for tuning in. I just want y'all to see as Black people on YouTube, we can have a really good time. We really do. And you can still say what the hell you want to say. Shit. Ain't nobody finna. My moderators, they're not rude. They real cool. Too cool sometimes. Because they got in trouble the other night. Anywho, let me get out of here, y'all. It's late. We've been up. It's midnight where I'm at. It's good grown talk. Thank you, Danny. All right. Some of y'all only got 2 hours left on your night shift. That was Charlemagne. Does that look like Charlemagne, y'all? Trey saying that's one of Tyler Perry's boys. Charlemagne. What y'all think? Let me see if the same nose. Yeah, it's Charlemagne. Look. Yes. And y'all, can I tell you something? In Studio 5 say your moderators are the truth. Thank you, Lulu. Hey, Lulu. Lulu say, I really enjoyed this conversation. 2, then we have a good time. Y'all go to bed. Y'all, let me tell y'all something. I got to give y'all a confession. I'm just as hood as they come. I'm hood. Let me tell you what I mean by that. Y'all, what you talking about, Queen Sheba? I like ramen noodles late at night. So I'm finna get off of here with y'all and go boil me. And listen, let me tell you how I eat my ramen noodles. I'm old school. We boiled water for ramen noodles. So I'm about to go boil a pot of water for ramen noodles and eat my noodles late at night. I swear to God. I put a little bit of butter in them. Oh, there she go.
Thank you, Queen. Thank you so much.
Okay, there she go.
I apologize. Yeah, I dropped. I just was, just to end off what I was saying is, again, this, if you're in the game, you're in the game, and it's a wicked game. And I don't think any amount of strategizing is, and then there's other things that are that are also happening. And there has been a lot of strategizing that she's already done. But like I said, it's bigger than Nicki. I think these discussions are really important to have as a people, especially where we are right now in this country. And I will be praying for her and for all of us. I've just prayed for her cover, and I hope that we could just support each other more. And yeah, I was going to say not be sellouts, but I'm not going to say that part. But
I agree. You know the crazy part about how this world works, and let me tell y'all something. It works at your job. It works in your family. Everybody frolics and gravitates towards the one that they deem has more value. What is value? Don't fall for the okie doke. Sit back, relax. I don't care if you're entry level. I don't care if you're administrative assistant. And you be like, I keep getting overlooked. They're going to overlook you until they deem you valuable. Don't chase them. Figure out a way to have them chase you. You do your work. You show up consistently. And eventually, you will gain an edge on the pack. People like Nicki Minaj, people like, and Nicki, here's the problem. You haven't come down to socialize and engage with your barbs. So now that you're in trouble, here's where celebrities fuck up.
Oh no, she engages with the barbs a lot.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I'm not talking about on social media like that. Listen to me.
Okay.
Up close in person. Not giving no money. You've got to be able to establish a line of connectivity, even if it's a small group. So if you ever get in trouble, you got 1 or 2 good motherfuckers that are layman people, boots on the ground that can
Queen,
lead.
she has it already. and again, I'm happy that I can add to this discussion. Nicki, like she's had small little groups. She's had like dinners with small groups.
Oh,
of
she
her
has?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. Elaborate. I want to hear her.
Yeah, I mean, just last year she had done dinners with a small group of her barbers when she was in New York City. Yes. She just didn't publicize
hold
it.
on,
Yeah.
hold on. But hold on. How do you know who attended?
Well, I mean, they posted
Okay,
it.
if you
There was
don't
still
know,
some-
say you don't
there
know.
was-
Don't make it up because they're very savvy over here. If you don't know, just say you don't.
I mean, there was still it was still posted, but like the whole entire event and dinner, the whole thing
But
wasn't.
how do you know
posted.
they were regular people and not higher level of regular people?
Because
If you
some of them
don't,
I
you
follow
don't.
on. Yeah, because some of them I follow on social media.
How many followers do they have on average? If you follow them, they're pretty prominent.
No, no,
20,000?
not at all. There's one Somalian girl that I could think of, a couple of Muslim girls that were there as well, and they don't have a lot of followers.
Well, okay, let me ask you this. How did they hear about it?
Probably she might have announced it on station.
You don't know.
She might. No,
Don't guess because we don't guess. Just say
I'm
you
trying to
don't know.
remember. What I'm saying to you is I'm trying to remember. She might have mentioned it on Station Head, or she might have even had Pedro, who was the guy that was working with her before. He might have reached out to some barbs. I guess what I'm trying to say is that these things are already in motion. Like they already happen. And then she has periods where she just kind of goes offline. Another thing to know is that Station Head, which is she went to Station Head, built it up. Then other people started to use it, and then Rock Nation bought Station Head.
They say you sound like somebody named Catalina.
No, my name is Cheryl.
Okay.
My real name is Cheryl. I'm from New York City, and I live in Georgia.
Okay. She says she's not Catalina.
Yeah, I don't know who Catalina is.
Listen, they're making me laugh.
Yeah, who's Catalina? I don't know who that is.
I don't know.
But
now they saying Catalina. Hold on. Who the hell is Catalina? Let me go see. Hold on.
No, I think maybe they're having a discussion about noodles because you brought that up.
Your name with oh, here go Catalina.
Yes. Okay. There you go.
Okay, you're right.
Everybody's gonna have noodles after this.
Okay, you're right. Latrice, you see how my moderator, she said December 2023, Nicki Minaj had a casual dinner with fans at a pizza restaurant in Jamaica, Queens. During the impromptu meal, she sat down with fans who were already there. Shared a, okay, I don't give a damn about no damn pizza. Now y'all need to stop it. Hold on, Nicki.
I mean, she has an amazing
Toot
connection.
should know better. Toot is my lead moderator. I don't give a damn about no pizza. Toot. Now you done pissed me the hell off. Somebody she sat down and had a slice of pizza. Hold on, Musing. They used to me acting a fool. Go ahead, Musing. Don't pay attention.
No, it's okay. I think that she has an amazing connection with her fans. And the fact, and I mean, if you look at the charts right now, I mean, her songs are still #1 on the chart. So she has an amazing connection with her fans. Let me just, I'll just, you know.
I got you. No, okay, I'm just saying no. This is a person. That's her name. You need to change that name because your profile picture is too beautiful for you to be like, I'm just saying no. Give yourself a beautiful name to match your beautiful picture. But I want to read your comment. You said, girl, you have to listen to understand, not to listen to respond. Girl, that's what we do over here at the end of the night, girl. The understanding is over. We're about to click off. Now, in the beginning, we're going to understand. But at the end, we play. Now,
yeah, and Stevie, I don't know if that was towards me, but I overstand. So I don't know if that was directed towards me.
No, she's talking to me, I think.
Oh, you overstand too. And it's 1:30
Yeah,
in the morning.
okay. I'm just saying though. I just want you to say we just play a lot. That's it. Okay, but listen, I'm just saying no. Let us you're in a good place. Because let me tell you what we do. We play a lot with each other. We joke. And I apologize if it comes across as us not listening, but we do play a lot. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go eat my noodles. And somebody say chicken or beef, shrimp, shrimp, shrimp. Go ahead.
Okay, I appreciate you for kind of sticking your head into this discussion and just adding some
Yeah.
truth to it and logic and discernment.
Yeah. Thank you. And thank you for coming up. Listen, the panel not been great from Queen Tosa to everybody else that came up?
This was
Y'all,
amazing.
huh?
I wanted to come up when you used to have your panels for melody, but then again, I couldn't figure out how to do it. But tonight I was like, I got to figure out a way to get up there. I
No,
kept
you
doing my little
did. You did. And y'all, you can always come up and talk to me. I don't take myself that serious. A lot of people like, hello, welcome to my show. That's not me. I don't do that shit because one day you're up, the next you're down. So I don't treat they'd be like, Queen, cool. But I understand because I'm a real person. You're a real person. Look, come on now. I ain't got that kind of money. I work hard. I do well. I can go eat a steak. I can go eat lobster. I can buy you one. I can buy out a table of 10, but I'm not rich. I'm just hardworking. And I always tell people, remember where you are. Because one day you're up, the next day you're down. Always treat people kind, with respect, with decency, and in order. And respect your fucking chat.
And
I
I
respect
do
mine.
think that you deserve to be on someone's TV show for your coverage of the Diddy case. I was just like, somebody needs to kind of reach out and get her on, because I mean, it was just the most intelligent commentary. You know, it's gonna come. It's
Can
gonna
I
come.
be honest with y'all? Can I tell something?
Yeah. Tell
Okay,
us.
hold on. Let me go on mute. Let me play some. Let me go on mute. Give me 2 seconds. Hold on. There were several people, listen, y'all, that have reached out to me. And when you think about the Diddy trial, everybody was soaking up opportunities, right? Oh, thank you, Paper Chase 22. Paper Chase said, shit, this panel was lit. It was, wasn't it? Oh, no, I'm just saying, though, you good. You said, now you quit. Okay. No, that's okay. We do that too. She said we was over talking. But you know what? Sometimes I understand. Y'all don't like it. They don't like when we over talk. And that's fine. I get it. They don't. They don't like all that. Because they're so used to order over here. That's
I
what
hear
I'm
you.
saying. Go
I
ahead,
hear you.
Megan.
I receive that. I'm
No,
saying
you
that.
didn't do nothing wrong. They're spoiled. So what happens over here, music, and that's part of the reason why you're here. When we talk, you're so used to everybody being respectful. We almost do things to a fault. But then when we let our hair down just a little bit, they be like, why y'all doing that? Why y'all talking over each other? Girl, we just having a little time. That's it. That's it. But so when you're talking about the Diddy trial, guess who reached out to me, y'all? Hold on. Next time, who lied? Hold on. Let me get through the comments. Hold on now. Hold on. Now they talking about cooking noodles, girl. Musing. Now they want to go cook a pack of noodles since I said it. Okay, here's the thing. Y'all need to order y'all noodles ahead of time. Get your noodles, baby. Anytime we go late, an hour or so, you be like, what Queen Sheba? I'm gonna eat some noodles. I can eat it. I love noodles. And I'm gonna go put them noodles on. Somebody say chicken or shrimp. Chicken or beef, shrimp. And then I put a little bit of butter and then shred some cheese that melts in them and make the broth cloudy. And then I put red pepper flakes. Baby, you can't touch me with my noodles. And I stay up late. My husband was like, you about to eat those noodles? I read an article. Baby, get out of here. I don't care about no article. I really don't. Yeah. Where was I about to go musing?
Who reached out to you?
Okay, thank you.
Trial?
Y'all, guess who reached out to me? Because Music was saying, girl, you did good at the Diddy trial. Judge Joe Brown and his team.
I can see that. I can see that.
Why everybody quiet? Like, bitch, that ain't no flex.
No, I was saying I could. I mean, he loves beautiful women. So, and you're smart. So.
Y'all wrong as hell. Why everybody get quiet? Y'all ain't have to do me like that now. Y'all ain't even have to do. I'm finna go. I'm embarrassed. Bye. Y'all ain't even have to do Music. Even you pause. Come on now. Don't do me like that.
I also think
like, what you want me to say, Queen? Oh, nice.
Some people want you to get up there and coon, right? And that's not something that you were going to do. You know?
Hold on, Music being nice, y'all.
No, I'm really being
Music like, bitch, that ain't no flex. Hold on, Music girl, we have a good time. Music. Hold on, Music said, oh. Y'all, she got quiet. Oh. Okay. Music, come on back off mute.
Yeah, I'm just saying that I think the fact that you are not sometimes they like Black folks to come on some of these shows and act in a certain way, and you wouldn't have done that. So from my perspective, the commentary was smart, it was on point, but sometimes that's not only what they're looking for, right? You weren't doing any, snapping and doing this and doing that. Maybe if you did, Nancy Grace would have came calling, but I was just still hoping, like, please, someone has to tap into that and speak to her and let her kind of come up there and share some of her thoughts. But,
In Studio 5 said, do you want to be an analyst? Nope. No. At all. No. I'm pretty sure on who I am.
Yeah.
I'm not one of those people that'll be like, oh, they call me, I'm going to go over here. No. Listen. So far, I've been offered 2. Okay, I'm not going to say it. But no, I don't want to be an analyst. Let me see if there's any other questions. Hold on. Any Musing, anything I should have said that you feel like, and you're not going to be disrespectful, but as a facilitator of this platform, as it relates to Nicki Minaj, mental health, schizophrenia, The Breakfast Club, Gucci Mane, Keisha Kaur, what's one thing? Is there anything that comes to mind? You'd be like, oh my God, I wish you would have touched on.
No. Can you still hear me okay?
Yeah.
No, not at all. I just think that I think it's helpful to always bring it back to what the source is, right? And where we might have gotten a certain piece of information. And I think some of the things, I'm not going to say a lot of the things, but some of the things that people say about Nicki, it all kind of comes back to one source. And you know how that game works, right? We know how certain things are kind of planted strategically, and it's super sophisticated. Again, even the story about her being abused by her dad, like, where'd that come from? And Cardi posted it, a few other people ran with it, and now that becomes the reality. So
Can I say this?
Yeah.
Typically, when a woman is violated in a manner where a man violates her, typically she told another woman.
Got you. Oh God, someone said you need Deb Auntie.
Okay. You need Deb. Let me tell you why Deb is good, but Deb is only good to. Have you ever played a video game?
Mm-hmm.
And you have to leave, and you're like, "Oh, I love that level. Which is your favorite?" Number 3, number 5. I love it. I can go back and play it again. I love it. I know where everything is. Deb is that. But
Yeah.
eventually you have to leave. Deb Anthony is the beginning of the game. She's level 1 through 5.
It's funny you
But
should say that because that's
Mhm.
what Nicki, when she was first being managed by Deb, love her to death, right? But part of why they parted ways is that she felt like Deb wasn't probably going to be able to get her to, you know,
She won't. She can't.
that next level.
Deb is a pillow.
Yeah.
Have you ever slept on a good pillow in a hotel?
I have, and you still need it. You need people like Deb to be in your
Have you ever
corner and
taken
love
that
you.
pillow with you?
No, I've never stolen a pillow from
Thank
a
you. You get what I'm saying?
I
It's
do. I do.
good. It's comforting. It's everything I need in this moment, but I can't take you with me. I still got to pack my bags and go. I'm not saying that Deb can never, ever. She will never, ever. Deb can't even do for Walker.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing. Deb, you say you need Deb Anthony spirited individuals in position. You know what? I'm not going to argue with you. You're right. You said in position. In position. You
Oh,
didn't
I
say
get it.
in
I see what she's
management.
saying. I
She
see what
didn't
she's
say
saying.
in management. She said in position. So yes, you are absolutely right. But here's the problem with Deb Anthony individuals. You can't announce that you're Deb Anthony.
Mm.
You're intimidating. You're nurturing your interpersonal skills, your love. See, in those spaces, they need you to be
They block you.
devoid.
Yeah, they block people like Deb.
Yeah, they need you to be devoid of any and all emotions. You remember how, okay, I don't even want to talk about it, but in some situations, they don't want a human factor. They want a
Yes.
machine. So
Yes.
if Deb Anthony's are going to penetrate the rap game, you got to go in being Deb Anthony, but not knowing that you're Deb. That you're Deb Anthony. Otherwise, you're out. They're going to offer you $5 million to leave. They don't need anybody that's a mother-like figure. They don't need anybody that shows an ounce of love. They
And
need you
empathy.
to handle her. If I call you and tell you to give her this pill to fucking sedate her, I need you to do it. I don't need you talking about her heart rate. If she dies, think about how these conversations go. This is not me, right? And this is how these white folks are. Then
Yeah.
you give her the fucking pill, Deb.
Yeah, she has too much empathy, and that's why I was saying with it's only so much you can do if you're in this game, right? Deb is only going to go but so far in this game as an empathetic Black woman, right? She's only going to go but so far, and I think I just at this point we just got to give it to the spirit, whoever you believe in, and but I do think that there are parallels between what she's experiencing and just what we're going through as a people. I really do.
And here's the thing. If any of you had Nicki or hosted Nicki, if you listening, reach out to your regular people. Stop fucking with these people on your level because Nicki, you are let me tell you something. I'll trade in your card. It's like baseball cards. Will you trade this one and get this? You got too many people around you that will trade you in to get to the top. Makeup artists, all of that. Start getting back to the regular people. Yeah, we're going to be annoying. Yeah, you'll be like, I don't want no picture. But when you tell them, quit asking me for damn pictures. I thought you say your mama could fry good fish and cook good greens. Where's that? And when you start talking to people like that and just say, treat me like a regular, Deb is a regular. There's a lot of regulars. Get yourself around a good motherfucking regulars. You're around a bunch of goons and goblins.
Yeah. And some people say she has too many regular people around her. And not enough.
They're not regular. They're not regular.
Not enough higher level people.
No, they're not regular. They are goons and goblins. High level goons and goblins. They are, when you say regular, it ain't nothing regular about them. Those niggas handle money in suitcases and briefcases that you'll never see over the course of your life. It ain't nothing regular about them. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do. I hear you.
All right. So they're regular to you because they don't talk like us. They don't live, but they need Nicki. You said, well, they live in mansions. No, they can't. They can never. They can never. If you match them up to you, yeah, they can never. But if you have a Nicki that can sign a contract, then they get to move in these neighborhoods, right? It's almost like the turkey leg hut lady, where the authorities zoomed in and had drones and helicopters in this nice white neighborhood. And you'd be like, oh shit, how this nigga get over here? She brought him in after he beat that girl for 6 hours. To the point he couldn't beat her no more. She said she couldn't feel anything. He beat her so severe for 6 hours with a tire iron. And she said, my body went numb. I convinced him to drop me off at a hospital. He gave me the whole rundown. You gonna tell them that a group of girls jumped you. They said he wrapped her up in a blanket and threw her out of his car like a bag of trash. And the hoe that thought she was the best, the one with the money, said, come back home. And the police went to that house and she lied and hid him. And then they sent drones in. Her dumb ass didn't even know a drone was hovering above the tree. See, drones don't make noise, right? And then he came out and tried to jump a fence. And then they had helicopters. And before you knew it, it's like, whoa. So when you say, no, they are regular people. No, they're not.
Yeah, and I guess I was more talking about like like even the person that was doing like her social media stuff was Pedro, who was just this regular Hispanic guy. So I do think.
Really? Hold on, who?
Yeah, so I think that's what I'm trying to like explain to you, Queen. I would love for us to have like an offline conversation.
No, talk about Pedro. Talk about Pedro.
So she recently unfollowed him, but Pedro was a barb. He was basically like a regular. He's a regular barb, and he just started like a fan page for her several years ago, and then she formed a relationship with him. She could have paid like a big PR company, but literally Pedro has like, he posts stuff for her, and it's another guy named Sach that does it too, and these are regular people. So I don't think that she has, besides, like she's signed to Republic. I mean, they're a huge company, and then they have a larger, huge company above them, Universal. But in terms of like her inner circle, she doesn't have a lot of big people around her. These are pretty small people.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, and I think like over the years, she cut a lot of people out because she was being snaked, right? Everybody in the industry knows everybody.
I think her husband did. Listen, if you really think about it, musing, if there's a level of embarrassment, even if it's not 100%, it could be 15, 20%. When your husband is labeled as a sex offender, there's certain neighborhoods that even if you can move into, he has to go undetected. So Nicki, in many cases, may come across as a very unfriendly, unlikable person. You know why? Not because she doesn't want it. I'm not making excuses, y'all. I'm not a Nicki Minaj fan.
She's guarded. She's guarded.
Hold on. Watch this. I'm not even a Nicki Minaj fan, but I am a content creator that can present different points of the argument. And even with Nicki Minaj, I can say, if you feel like she's indifferent, rude, cold, it's a defense mechanism. Mechanism. I'm not saying it's okay. I'm not making excuses for her, but Nicki's going to do everything to protect him so that his cover isn't blown. They got blown. They have to live in these neighborhoods. She has to make sure nobody finds out that he's a fucking sex offender. Because if so, bitch, you gotta go.
Yeah, and I feel kind of shaky about that too, because I hear a lot of people say, oh, ever since she married him, everything was going downhill. And it's like, no, that's not true. The hate train started before she even married Kenny. And another thing that I just have to say this, Queen, he was convicted of something. He went to jail and he served his time.
I don't care.
And this label of being he's not a pedophile. So this label this pedo label is something, again, a narrative that was kind of put out there as well. But I just gave you the page for Pedro. But listen, everybody, when people have money, people start, doing things. So
I don't care. I don't
Pedro,
care. Let me ask you something. Do you have children?
Pedro. No, I don't have children, no.
Okay. Do you have nieces?
Yes, I do. I have nieces. I have a younger sister.
Think about this. Don't say any names. Don't give too much personal information. Just give me a number. The age of your youngest niece. If you can think of just an age range. Fake up number.
19.
Mom. Okay. Auntie, whatever. Musing. Auntie
19.
Muse. Okay.
Got
it.
You
Right.
can still hear me, right?
Auntie Muse. Okay. Yeah, I can hear you. Auntie Muse. Nicki Minaj husband, they throwing a party. Okay. You know he's a sex offender. We finna go over there. What would you say?
I mean, why would you be going to a celebrity's house party anyway? Why would you even be invited as a 19-year-old?
Okay. But she's going. She's 19.
I'm going with her. I'm going with her.
You're not going. They're not letting you in. Baby, let me tell you how this works. You're not going. What would you give her? She's going. With or without you.
I don't even know what I would give her because I would literally.
How come you don't know what you would give her when it's on paper?
I wouldn't let her go. I wouldn't let her go. Like,
how come you didn't say he's a sex offender, honey?
I think as a 19-year-old or 18-year-old, right? If they have an opportunity to go to Nicki Minaj's house at that age, it might not even
say I don't care what they think. How come you knowing what you know didn't say, sweetie? If you go, just know he's a convicted sex offender. How come you wouldn't say that? How come you wouldn't give your niece? Hold on. How come you wouldn't give your niece that information?
I probably would.
But you didn't say that.
Yeah, no, I didn't. But I probably would tell her that.
How come you didn't say that? How come that wasn't the first thing on your mind to protect your niece?
Because I think the best way for me to protect her is to protect her from herself. Because I think 18 or
no. You need to let her know what a nigga is. Go ahead.
So let me finish. I think, and I'm not male identified whatsoever. So if people could go back and look at all my posts, especially regarding the Melody situation, I'm not male identified whatsoever. I think in respect to my niece, the reason why I probably would say that, but what I would also do is just stop her from going, because I'm just being realistic. If my niece is 18 or 19 years old and she has an opportunity to go to an athlete's house or a rapper's house, it may not mean anything to her that this person is a sex offender. So what I'm going to do, I would tell her definitely he's a sex offender. But in addition to that, your little ass ain't going. I'm literally going to block her from going.
How come you just wouldn't tell her?
But I just told you that I would.
I got it. But she's not a danger to herself.
But I think that at that age, your brain is still developing. So she is a danger to herself.
No, she's not. My question was, he's a registered sex offender.
Right. And what I'm telling you is that I would say that to my niece, and I think that she would probably still want to go anyway.
Even if she wanted to go, that's fine. But that wasn't the first thing that you said you would tell her.
Right. Because in my mind, I would think that even if I told her that, she would still want to go. So
it doesn't matter. Our job is to protect him. Our job is to give them the facts. You can go. I know you want to go. He's a sex offender. And it behooves me that a woman, I ain't gonna lie. Now you smart and I'm not attacking you.
So with me, because that didn't pop up into my head immediately, and because I'm telling you that I would tell my niece that this person was a sex offender, but I would also assume as an 18 or 19-year-old, she probably would still go anyway. People have said things about Chris Brown, And if you ask a little young girl to go to a Chris Brown party, they're going to go. So I think that there's a little bit of a misunderstanding that that's not the first thing that I said. I mean, of course I would say that to my niece, but what I'm also jumping to is the assumption that it would not make a difference, because if you have if a young person has the ability to be around someone who is famous and has affluence, they're not concerned with, oh, this person is a sex offender. So please understand that.
Well, we can't think for them, right? Just like we can't think for him.
You
Our
asked me what
job-
I would do. And I'm telling you that I would
No, I got you. I got you.
I would share that with my niece, and then I would physically.
But I kind of feel like when women say, I'm going to protect her from herself, why are we protecting her from herself? She's not the fucking sex offender. He is. She's an innocent child. Why am I bucking up against herself? She ain't did no wrong. He did. My question was, she's
So
an
how can I
innocent child.
protect
Hold
her
on,
from
hold on. Let you talk. Hold on. My question was, and we good. Musing, we good?
We're good. I just feel like
Okay.
it's a little bit of a trick question, but
It is. It was. You
Yeah.
should know me. Yes, it is a trick question.
But it's also, you're also making an assumption that
No,
oh,
I'm
this
not.
is
I
really-
asked you what you would do.
Right, but I told you that, right?
Mhm.
I'm also thinking to myself that you understand that, yes, of course I would tell my niece that.
No, I don't understand that. That's why I asked you.
Right. And then I clarified that and said, of course I would tell her, but I would also stop her from going. How can I protect her from a rapist or a sex offender or whomever if I still allow her to go into that space by just simply telling her this person is a sex offender? I grew up in New York City. Like that's neither here
That's
nor
not
there.
what you said. So listen, here's the thing. I'm not saying you did anything right or wrong. When you say, you know what I mean. No, I don't. And neither does she. If she sees you on her way out the door, if I'm asking you on a podcast, what would you say? And you say, oh, you should understand what I meant. Oh, to her, when she gets in a party and the niggas start making advances, oh, mom, you say, oh, she knew what I meant. No, she don't. No, I don't. You got to say it. That's a registered sex offender.
But
Don't
I
nobody.
clarified to you that I would tell her that. And then I would also not allow her to go.
Gotcha.
I'm clarifying that to you because me just telling
I
her,
got
I know that would not be enough. I know that me telling my niece, oh, this celebrity, you're getting an opportunity to go to Nicki Minaj's house, but I don't want you to go because her husband is a sex offender. I don't think that would be enough.
But can I say this? People were saying, hold on, what'd you say, Queen? You asked her that because she started to defend him about his charges.
This is not and it's not about her husband. What the point that I was making, and it's not defending his charges, and I am not male centered. The point that I was making is the pedo label is something that was also, two things can be true.
But he is a pedo, according to the law. Not according to Black women. According to the law. Here's the law.
I didn't know that.
Hold on. Watch this. Watch this.
Law, I thought a pedophile was someone that's attracted to children.
Hold on. That's a sex offender.
No,
Okay,
it's
maybe
not.
not.
Those are
Maybe
two
not.
different
You're right.
things.
You're
They're
right. You're
not.
right. Hold on.
So two things can be true.
No,
He
they were
definitely
children.
sexually
They were
assaulted a woman. And the thing that I was saying was that this label of him being a pedophile, which is someone who is attracted to children.
He was a child.
Exactly.
His
He was
victim
15.
was a child.
She was. He was 15 and she was 16.
Who
and
cares?
the label of it's not defending him. The point that I'm trying to make is that even the label of a pedo goes back to trying to stain Nicki's image. That's the point that I'm making. I'm
No. He was that before. He was that before he met Nicki. What he did to that young girl, hold on, is before he met Nicki. It has nothing to do with Nicki. The only reason why Nicki got brought into that has nothing to do with Nicki. Before Nicki married him, and if Nicki decided, nigga, I don't want to be with you. He did what he did before Nicki. Period. Does that make
But
sense?
it makes sense to me. It makes logical sense. But the
All
point
right.
that I'm trying to make to you is all up
Okay.
and through social media. That's what people use to drag her. They say, "Oh,
Okay.
she married a
Take that
pedo."
out. Take
Oh,
that
girl.
out. Take social media out. This is just me and you talking. It's too
Right,
much.
but I'm giving you the context. That's why I
I
brought
get
it
it.
up.
I got you.
I didn't bring it up to I didn't bring it up to defend Kenneth Petty. I'm bringing it up to show that that was also part of how you insult her. She's also not responsible for what her brother did, but that is something that is also used
She
to
becomes
attack her.
responsible for her brother did what her brother did. Okay, let me not go to the brother. Let's stop. Let's take it off social media and
Yeah,
bring it
let's
back to me and you as women just talking.
perfect.
Okay. So, because we're not responsible for any of these people. But let's just say in our world with our income, our tax bracket, there's a man next door named Kenneth that's married to a beautiful black woman that's not a superstar that looks similar to a Nicki Minaj. You just happen to peruse and be looking up a crime. Maybe somebody stole a car. And you say, let me see what the kind of crime rate in my neighborhood. You run up on, you go down a rabbit hole. You be like, oh, there's a sex offender. Oh my God, he's next to me. His name is Kenneth. Kenneth is nice. Kenneth has never presented any problems to anybody. He's lived next door to you for 10 years. You've never, ever seen him do anything. Your young niece at age 19 says, Mom, Kenneth and his wife are throwing a party. I'm not mom, auntie. I would like to go.
It's the same thing that I just told you a few moments ago. I would mention to her what the background is, and she's not going, period. And if
Okay,
she tries to go, I would physically not let her go.
I wanted to make sure they heard you.
Yeah, that's it. And again, I'm stressing to you that most 19-year-olds, 17-year-olds, 18-year-olds, in my opinion, if they had the opportunity to be in proximity to someone that has affluence, it doesn't matter. They're not going to be really concerned with those sort of things.
Can I
You
be
understand?
honest with you?
Yeah.
I used to think that until I really start to
But I would still tell her. But again,
I used to think that about kids and I realized, that's an easy and lazy excuse. If you're busy, if you have to work and you're doing the
easy
best
and lazy excuse for what?
Hold on, let me finish. But then when I started to hone in on my son and check his homework and sit with him as he did his homework at age 16, I'm like, I'm not fucking supposed to be sitting here. He's 16, but guess what? Until I know he gonna do it, I'm gonna sit here. Hey, you want to go out to eat with me? So I'm not leaving you at home. But I don't say I'm not leaving you at home because I'm not gonna make him being at home a bad thing. I'm not gonna translate or transfer my insecurities on him. Hey, listen, if you don't want to go ride the motorcycle with your dad, if you coming with me, we're gonna go do ABC. And once I started to really pay attention to him, I swear to God, if y'all wake up and start looking at these kids, you be like, hey, you're pretty cool. And you do listen to me. And when you don't listen to me, you're actually trying to get my attention. So now I have a completely different perspective of kids. And my husband say, you parent like white people. No, you don't. No, I don't. Because I like to be happy and healthy with kids. He thinks I should be bright, like hardcore. I said, no. Handle them with care. No, that don't work. No, it does work, nigga. You just don't have the patience. I do. And when I started to implement the patience with them, and most people say, Queen Sheba, I ain't got time and time again to tell them. I do. Hey, don't do that. Hey, don't do that. Hey, don't do that. Hey, don't do that. And it takes you about 90 days, I swear to God. And when you can do that over and over, and then they start looking you in your eyes, then you can say, that's a pedophile across the street. What would you do if you were me? You go, I probably wouldn't go. And you still gonna go? And guess what they'll say? Nah, I probably won't go. If you really start to invest in kids, they're not gonna go. If you have that relationship with them, I swear to God, they're not gonna go. They're not gonna go. But if you do not, the leadership you establish, you can't establish it when they become 19.
Yeah, I have amazing relationships with my nieces. I have amazing relationships with my little sisters.
That's
They
good.
they listen to me
Mhm.
and all the good stuff. And in the scenario that you gave to me, if I'm being realistic and thinking about the entire scenario, I would tell her, and I would
Mhm.
also be prepared to say, "You're not going." If she came to the point of where she said, "Oh, I want to go," you're not going.
Listen, I came home from out of
I'm
town.
imagining it from A to Z. So, you know,
I think it has to, y'all. Listen. I don't think most people understand how much kids want you to have authority over their lives. I don't really think y'all understand that.
yeah, they want structure. I mean, I have these
Yes.
conversations with my sisters. I have these conversations with my father. Of course, I'm coming from a place
Mhm.
of privilege because I don't have children, but
Mhm.
I completely understand that. And again, I have great relationships with them. I also understand and in understanding when I was 19 and 18 and 17 and you need that guidance and that structure because sometimes we don't always make the best decisions. There were times where my mother had to step in.
Right.
A case in point, one night my Valentine's Day, I had a friend that was dating an older guy. I think I was maybe 17. And
Mhm.
we were going to go on a double date on Valentine's Day. She came to my house with her 25-year-old boyfriend, his 19-year-old friend. And for the first time, my mother said, "Oh, Cheryl doesn't go out on school nights." And I thought to myself, well, when did that rule start? And I was devastated and I was really upset with her. She was trying to ruin my life. This was going to be like my first date. But what she saw was that my friend was dating a grown man. And she put her foot down and you can't go. So it wasn't even though we had a great relationship and we would have discussions about things and so on and so forth, my mother made the call that I'm not going to allow you to go and just hope for the best. You're just not going to be able to go. And I think that she made the right decision. So, you know, sometimes in a situation where it's dealing with a pedophile, it's not even going to be a choice.
I got it.
You
Let me
can't.
read this comment. Mox says she will go. We're talking hypothetically. Hold on. And Mox is responding hypothetically. Mox said, whether you're talking about your niece, your daughter, whatever. Mox said, she gonna go as soon as you go to bed. Let me tell you something. Mox, I beg to differ. I beg to differ. Y'all are talking about problem children. And I'm talking about how you can shift the dynamic from your kids being from problem kids to lovely kids. It starts with you. Your kids are not here. They're not thinking, how can I get over on mom? You know how they start to enter into that realm and that phase when there's a problem in your household. And that's where the part my husband was like, you think we're a white family? No, I don't. I think we're a healthy family, and we are. And let me tell you something. They will not go as soon as you go to bed. If you listen, my husband came to me today when I got home. He said, hey, listen, he wants to go to a haunted house with his friends. He wants us to drop him off and pick him up. Does that sound like an easy ask? Musing, yes or no?
He wants to go. How old is your son?
16.
He's
Watch this.
16. He wants to
Watch
go to
this.
the haunted house with his
Does that
friends.
sound like easy? Just on the surface.
You
He want
guys
to
are
go to the
driving him.
Huh?
I got to know some details. Are you guys driving him there and picking him up?
My husband didn't give me that detail.
Well, that's what I'm going to ask.
Okay, but just on the surface, does that sound easy? Yes or no?
It doesn't sound easy, not to me. Not a 16-year-old
Neither do
boy.
me. Thank
Yeah.
you. So
Not my jam.
I told him, my husband goes before. I told him before I can say yes or no, I need to talk to you. I said, who is he going with? I don't know. What friends? I don't know. What time does it start? I don't know.
You
What
gotta
time
know
does
what
it
you're
end? I don't know. I said, and you think I'm going to drop him off?
Mm-mm.
You don't know shit. I said, hypothetically, let's just say we drop him off and some shit hit the fan and they're shooting and they're detaining all of the kids. And in order for us to release them, who was he with? I don't know. What time did they start? I don't know. Sir, no. Until you can get more information, no. It ain't even about him at this point. It's about you. No. No. Stop being afraid of your kids. Ask them questions. You ain't going nowhere. And I told my husband he can go, but I need to meet the kids. So now 2 weeks ago, my son said, I want to go to the game with my friend, blah, blah. Can we pick him up? I said, absolutely. Get his mom on the phone. Guess what? Mom never got on the phone. We never picked the kid up.
And that's telling. That's a tell.
Oh, it's okay. I don't confront. That's my rule.
No, I mean, I guess I was saying more or less the parent, right? And if the parent is not communicating with me, I don't know if I want my child.
Listen, it ain't my son. It's that one. The one he's trying to be friends with, because I saw the text message. He said, my stepmom said, if we pick you up, we need to meet your mother. The other one said, nah, I'm cool.
Yeah.
Okay, good. You're not getting in my fucking car, bitch.
That's it.
Excuse my language. Because over here, we meet parents. We meet parents over here. We say hello to parents because I want your mom to know. If you up in my car, I'm going to protect your life to my death. I'm going to protect your life. I'm going to pay for your food. I ain't going to even tell her that. You see what I'm saying? I ain't going to say, send him no money. He's a kid.
But
Send
he's
him
covered.
What?
He's covered if he's with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Send him money for what? These are kids. But you didn't want me to meet your mom. So you're not riding with us. You're not going with us. And I keep telling my son, I said, listen, you come from, they say, you a Scorpio because that's my attitude. For real. Dreaded Queen. I said, well, where the mama at? He said, I don't care. He ain't getting in my car. If I don't talk to his mom and look her in her eyes and assure her that I'm going to get her kid home, he's not coming. Shit, you ain't finna play with me with another woman behind her child. I don't give a damn. Well, his mom said it's okay. And then guess what my son said? Oh, you can meet her when we pull up. Nigga, please, who is you?
No.
I said, how you gonna tell me how I'm gonna meet her as a grown woman? Oh, when we pull up, you can say hi to her. No, you're 16. Sit your ass down. You don't tell me how I'm gonna meet that lady when it comes to her child. Just like she can't pull up to my house. That's her damn child. Shit, that's her child. We're gonna show some respect around here, shit. And we gonna feed him. He gonna get his ass back home. But if I can't meet his mama, he can't come. Oh, he's a leader. Oh, Miss Sparkle, he's a leader. He's a leader. Let me tell you something. But I have to overpower him every day in the most beautiful way as a mom. I said, who told you that? Who told you I'm going to meet her when we pull up? Oh, I just thought you could. No. And I don't know who your friend is and why he don't want us to meet his mom, but he can't ride with us. He's not going to the game with us. Oh, can he go to the haunted house? Nope. Until his mom says yes. And if his mother does not say yes, he ain't going. And then you know what I think about sometimes? I was like, well, maybe he don't live with his mom. Maybe he's in foster care.
Yeah. I was actually just thinking the exception are the kids that need, you know what I mean, that extra.
And then how do I get to the bottom of that? But you got to teach it with honesty. Yeah. And that kid's gonna have to say, because I still don't want you around my son if you can't say I'm in foster care. I still want you to be. I don't know, y'all. It's so true. Let me get off that. We're gonna go.
I hear you. But and just to add to that, the friend that my mother wouldn't let me go out with, she adored her. And she did come from, her parents, got caught up in drugs and things like that. Mm-hmm. And my mother adored her, but there were certain boundaries that my mother set. Because at the end of the day, you're my child. I'll feed her and I love her to death, but she's not my child.
Yeah.
So I can't say anything about her dating someone that's 25 and so on and so forth. And at some point, I'm gonna have to keep you away from her. And there needs to be some boundaries because, she's gonna rub off. And
that's what I wanted to say.
I don't think that's white parenting, you know. I don't think that that's
I told
white
my husband that. He go, "You too nice." I told can I tell y'all something about your kids? When y'all raise them with love, y'all be loving on these kids, and we do too. And you be like, where you find this little boy at? Where you find this little girl? Why you want to be? And they find the most incomplete little kids, right? And it's not that you don't want them to be friends, but you realize this little kid has damages, and you're saying, let me meet their parent. Let me see who's in charge of them. I'm gonna bring them in, but I'm gonna fix them. Yeah. It's gonna be some therapeutic loving over here, but I need to know who's in charge, who's the adult. And if I can't pinpoint the adult, the kid can't play with mine. I'm sorry. So let me just say this to those of you that are saying, "Why help mama?" And some of you believe it's outdated, and your kids say, "His mama want to meet you." It's probably a good mom. Let them meet you for 5 seconds. "Hey, how you doing? Is it okay? He said he wanted to ride to the game. We got his food. We gonna go out to eat. He's gonna be home by this time. We're gonna get cotton candy. That's it." Okay. And before you know it, your kid, even if you're a single mom or a single dad, now you start to establish a village and friendship. You can drop them off and you got to go to work. And when they call you in the middle of the night, you don't get a notice if you're a nurse. Stop being so fucking closed off. Meet people. When your kid comes home and say, "Mama, they say they want to meet you." "I ain't gotta meet nobody. Gotta meet me." Girl, it's probably somebody like me.
We got to pick up and have this discussion again.
Yes, I don't want to
Because sometimes it's insecurity. Sometimes they may feel like, you know, you may judge her, and you know who she's a public assistant, and you're a corporate.
I just don't want to put the kid in my car without her permission or without his dad's permission. I'm just trying to say. So don't be like, "Who the hell? Well, you ain't got to meet." Just stop. It's somebody. It's probably, if anybody said they want to meet you, his mama said they want to, or his dad said they want to meet you. You be like, "Oh shit, I got me a good one, and I work late too." Yeah, you're gonna be my babysitter. That's what you don't know. "Hey, nice to meet you." So just be open to that, because the parents that want to meet you ain't got nothing to hide in most cases.
That's right.
But with that being said, we out of here. Let's go, everybody. Thank
y'all
you.
enjoy y'all noodles. Thank you, Queen.
Yeah.
Have a good night. Thank you so much.
All right. Good night, everybody.